Hello.
It's hard to show if those are drawn.
It lagged. There we go. It did it that time. Oh, you're still Gilgamesh.
Woo! Crossover.
Hello.
What is this, a crossover episode?
How is everybody?
Welcome to my isekai.
Welcome to my isekai.
But you were already in an isekai.
Double isekai. That means I'll definitely sell all the copies for some reason.
Welcome to my double isekai.
It's not for some reason. It's because people have trash taste, but that's beside the point.
Hello, everybody. How are you? We are here. Play Zelda. Zelda play. For some reason, whenever I press the button for record and press the button to go to the correct thing, the transition lagged like fucking 6 seconds. So, so I said hello while it was still black screen. It was pretty funny. But yeah. Well, we all here for some Zelda. Is everybody here? Hello? Everybody do good?
I am one death.
You are what?
I want death because today was really long and hard.
Oh. Show you something else.
Not that long and half chub at best on your better days, probably.
That's not fair, Anthony. You've never seen my penis.
It's true. No, I don't want to see it now.
I didn't ask anything. I didn't say anything. It was just on your mind. You have to think of some things because like that was your entire.
I don't have to think too hard. You're super simple, bro.
That was your brain doing something, not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I'm decently sure. So Zelda. We have some Zelda. Maybe you heard of it.
Also wants some dick, probably. I don't know. She still won't be a monster fucker. Next week, he said.
We don't even know, man. We have to get fucking Gorthos to go to a hot spring and see if he even has something down there. You don't even know. Or if we gotta get the fucking fairy mud.
Ronan would know definitively because they fucking had a bath together.
Yes, that's objectively a thing that happened.
Well, Jika was silent.
We don't know if Ronan understands your anatomy. Because look at Ronan. When Ronan stands up, there's nothing there.
It's kind of like with a dog.
He's right.
It's kind of like with a dog. It just kind of goes inside.
Maybe skeletons were the same way.
I hate that you're right.
It just rolls back into its fucking dimension.
I just imagined Ronan, but with like the certain not safe for fanatics of Sidon from Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's got a sheath.
I love that Sidon has a statue of his friend riding him in the center of his city. And that the one that asked us to clean it off was his wife.
Listen, I'm down with this polycule, all right?
I'm down to kiss both fishes. That is true. I am down. Zelda.
Woo!
Zelda's fun. It's fun little world. We're gonna go. Blah! That one didn't lag. That one just immediately went. Hello. You know what is lagging though? For some reason, I don't see our. There it is. The room didn't come forward. Hello. We are in Zelda room doing Zelda things. Maybe you Zelda'd it. You actually got a bit of a sneak peek of something right there. Because if we zoom down in on our boys here, on our little guys. Well, maybe we'll talk about it later. Maybe we'll talk about it in a second. Who wants to tell us what happened last time? Fine, I'll roll it. We'll start from Gorthos. Gorthos being 1, so that means Polo is 2, Ronan is 3, Marco is 4. That is a 2. Polo, what happened last time?
Oh, okay. Finally legit this time.
Yeah, we got it. We got it on a roll this time. We're on a roll.
Okay. So last time on Zelda, as everybody decided to do some things, I'm trying to remember.
We started with the nighttime activities.
With nighttime activities. And nighttime activities, we proceeded to Marco going to talk to his sister Walking on in like, hey girl, sister, how we doing?
It's hot bat.
And Misty was like, what do you want? And they had a bit of a familial talk, talking a bit about I can't remember exact pinpoints, but I think they talked about anything that she might remember from her encounters with the Sage of Life, which she said she was working on it. Some of her, God, I don't remember.
She was talking about getting all of their thoughts together on the Sage of Life and see if there's anything he said that might lead to what's going on with him.
Yeah, essentially trying to figure out if anything the Sage of Life was doing here was in relation to the stuff going on with the Gorons and the Zora and the damn city. There was a couple other little lighthearted conversation banters here between Marco and his sister, but it generally ended on the footnote of she needs to work on that. As we went off to Gorthos and Zelda, Gorthos was like, man, Gorthos sure lost his temper and really wanted to kill a man. And Zelda was like, and you could have done that, and I would have supported you. I saw it all on my TiVo, and I want to say it was actually kind of hot. And Gorthos said, what? And she says, actually, it was very frightening to see you lose control. But you need to realize that Gorthos, you might be able to live forever, but that doesn't mean you have to. You can also live a mortal life and let your friends be cool and be awesome and stuff. You're definitely going to outlive your friends. That is the truth that we unfortunately can do nothing about. Even at some point, I will have to ascend once again if they hopefully don't tell me to get the fuck out and kick me out again. But don't worry, Gorthos. Everything will be okay. It's understandable what you went through, and I'm a little sad too with what happened with Link. But don't worry, we'll pull through together as one, us friends. And Argo was like, "And recording." Recording. I don't remember, dude. I don't remember, dude. I didn't really get a chance. Like, I did listen to the previous session, but I didn't really get the chance to truly pay attention this time around. As we went back to Ronan, he went to go finish off and wrap up what was going on in the Zora's domain with the Dodongo, and really solidify that this Dodongo likes him now.
Look at that Dodongo.
And once he had christened him Don the Dongo, he gave him a little tour of the Zora's domain where he was a little bit scared, and Ronan was like, no, don't be scared. I understand that you really want to eat everybody here, but we gave you a good fresh pack of Joe's seafood earlier before we finished this, so you can't possibly be fucking hungry, okay? We gave you fish sticks before we left. You can't be hungry.
We gave you fish sticks. Stop trying to eat these fish sticks.
We ate before we left. You can't be hungry. And Don the Dongo is an anxious little Dongo bean, but he'll get better with time. Obera said so. So as they moved on, the other guys decided that that's what also they wanted to do with their night. They all wanted to pet the Dodongo. And that's what they did. They all pet the Dodongo. I remember a downtime activity was like, what do you want to do? Everybody wanted to pet the Dodongo. I don't remember anything else. I really fucking don't. This week has been weird. Freaking Polo was like, I guess I'll work on a coat for my brother since I should probably do that. And Hadar was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. So what do you plan on doing with this coat? I plan on taking your blood and putting it in the coat. Excuse me? And she was like, give me your hand. And freaking, he was like, how about this? And jabbed his hand himself. And through a lot of bleeding all over Gorthos's fine oak wood, they collected blood and imbued it and some of her hair and imbued it into this cloak. and he was like, okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. So, Vega's Vice sucks. Almost as much as my Vice sucks. But my Vice, if no one knows about it, doesn't suck as badly as Vega's Vice. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to make Vega suck less. This cloak will make him suck, but suck in a better way, in that, like, maybe he won't be susceptible to taking every stupid fucking bet he comes across. Maybe. Who knows?
Just brothers trying to get their other brothers to suck.
Don't worry, we'll figure this out. But right now, I am very tie-tie. So I will instead, after a day of not being able to do the thing, because this actually is very, very fucking hard, I'm gonna go sleepies. Thanks, Polo. I'm gonna go sleep. Thanks. And Polo was like, okay, well, I don't know what else to do with this. And everybody else went to go pet the Dodongo. So I guess I'm gonna go talk to Marco's sister. And girl talk ensued, where she was like, so after you take over Lon Lon and rule it with an iron fist, where does my brother fit in on this? And she was like, I don't know. I was thinking about maybe figuring out what's going on with the Zora and the Gorons, and maybe taking him with me as kind of like, I don't know. Like a good idea at the time. But I kind of like him, and I think I think there's something here, but I'm not quite sure yet. We don't want to put a name on it just yet. And she was like, well, you better name it at some point because I'm really curious. And she was like, you know what I'm curious about? When this became your fucking business. But as little sisters do, they keep prying anyway.
When this became your fucking business.
But as little sisters do, she kept prying, and it was actually really innocent and cute little girl talk. And Misty ended up getting the last laugh anyway, because now she's getting all that sweet, sweet demon family scandal tea, just as God intended. I really don't remember anything else.
It's actually super funny because it was essentially noted there that Misty had zero idea that she was kissing apparently demon royalty.
She was like, what? I thought he was just some demon, some dude that was also a demon. You're telling me he's fucking rich?
Let's go!
Let's go!
New statues all over!
Nothing different about him.
What's his inheritance?
Oh, a bunch of weird fucking metal thing? Whatever.
Some properties.
Some tiny little metal discs? What the fuck are these even?
Oh, that's a Golgi.
What the fuck? These can't be worth anything. But yes.
Yeah.
My mic just muted itself for some reason.
Heck.
I don't know why it did it. Hello. But yes, that was essentially what just went down. Everyone else had watched as a Dodongo rolled around the farmland. Definitely doing fine. Nobody's using this farmland for its intended purpose anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
Marco, you gotta really get some people to work on your farmland, man.
I know.
Especially now.
What'd be really funny is if suddenly by being connected to our house, the farmland that's in our garden spread to the farmland here, so it's all magically grown.
It'd be fucking hilarious. It's just like all of a sudden you can literally make anything here. I'm gonna plant a fridge. And then I'll and then I'll have a fridge tree.
I'm gonna bury this dagger in the ground. Oops, all daggers.
Dagger bush.
It's all daggers.
I'm gonna go pick a dagger berry.
It's just a really tiny dagger.
Man, what does a daggerberry taste like? D4 piercing.
It just does more than a regular dagger because they only do 1 damage.
I mean, that's if you ingest them. I'm sure a regular dagger would also do at least a D4 if you ingested it.
Oh man, I think I'm allergic to dagger berries. Every time I eat one, my mouth starts bleeding.
And I get hives.
Yeah.
Like also
Why is that
actually
evil?
allergic to them.
Are you allergic to a shape of a weapon?
But yeah, as as you guys would have basically been watching all night as Dodongo Boy does Dodongo Boy things, doing his best at keeping the world Dodongo, you guys would also eventually turn in for the night. Whether that is with your fishes, with your by yourselves, with your any sort of mixture of gigantic dodongos or frogs, you all rest up. Now,
Yay.
with the addition of several things going on, I have rolled for things, including the new addition of Chefos into the tier of people who will be helping out with the cake. You guys in the morning will be told that the cake will be done by the night, which means you guys can move out with the cake either tonight or first thing in the morning if you wish. With that being the case, is there anything you guys would like to do, like to say, like to go off and get things going with anywhere else for the day? I will say Hadar will most likely continue to do their thing with or without Polo there. So that can be just something they would do. You would also note Hadar is most likely still with Orion because you told Orion to watch him.
Yeah. I also remember Polo was going to be waking up late because they spent all night doing
Yes. I'm mostly just talking about what anybody plans on doing for the day here. So, going to everybody in particular, we'll go to the others first. We'll see how things go down. Ronan, as you would wake up, you would find upon returning or just even going outside or wherever you ended up resting that night, returning to Marco's fields, there would be a magic frog and a Don the Dodongo out there. Don the Dodongo is currently has not attacked anyone yet. Grand job. Great.
Yay.
Wonderful. You also note there is a large bowl outside of where Don the Dodongo is sitting, which most likely means that somebody fed him and or watered him. Unsure who, but I would like to ask you first, what would you like to do for your day here?
Ronan has nothing at all specific in mind.
If you want to just wait for the end of the day to transport the cake, you can. If you would like, you can potentially do some more training with Dawn or Magic Frog, or you can make your way into Lon Lon and perform any concerts you'd like to do. You could even do that off in any of the domains you have access to. You could take that shit back to Castletown and make more money. I would also remind you guys that there is still the idea of, if you are going to be traveling with the cake, getting to Spectacle Rock is a somewhat of a trek. You guys could gather up and speak about what to actually plan to go and do as well, like what your guys' plan on the road is going to be. Because right now it's just get cake, go Castletown, something. Profit. So if you guys would also like to bring up any kind of idea of talking with everyone, you can do that as well.
We gotta get this cake before it gets cold.
It's true.
Stale.
There you go. That's a better term for it.
Stale.
Deliver the cake while it's moist.
There's also the Goron place that we want to talk to.
Yep.
Gorthos's buddy. There's also the little Skull Kid fucker over at the Lost Woods that Ronan wanted to check out.
Do you guys want to gather everyone together and start planning? Because that is something we could do.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with
the round table?
Yeah.
We will say this then. At some point in the day, as everybody gets together, everybody does their things, yada yada, you guys would gather off in the backyard of Marco's family place, because Dodongo is there, and Dodongo is probably not allowed inside.
So Magic Frog can squeeze his way through or teleport inside, whichever magic he's decided to copy for the day. He's good on that. Dodongo big.
Dodongo
and
big.
Brute.
Dodongo
Do you not
big.
understand that Magic Frog has no bones?
I mean, he does.
He has no bones.
He has frog bones.
He's also liquid.
Here's the liquid.
Magic Frog is every state of matter combined, including magic.
We will say then, I'll put each of you on a little stool here. You guys are here on your little stools. Who else is involved in your guys's?
We must sacrifice the child.
Who else will be involved in your guys's talks and your guys's plans?
Obera.
Obera will be here. Good.
Magic Frog.
Magic Frog will be here, as well as Dawn, because Dawn
will also be here.
Dawn will be integral in the planning process, I'm sure.
Yes.
Probably Nimbus and Kuro.
Okay.
Yeah.
They will be around. You guys know that Nimbus mostly this trip has been watching your guys' things, and being covered in cuckoos.
I do feel bad for that.
Nimbus has literally just been guarding things the entire time, and he's like, I'm fine with that.
Approach a cuckoo with the proper form of respect and care.
And I'm just...
They actually are quite affectionate. Okay, no.
I'm just gonna say, even if... I'm just gonna say, even if we didn't specifically invite them to the thing, these three would more than likely be watching what we're talking about in the other room through TiVo.
Yeah, they'd be on
We just hear an echo of ourselves in the other room.
Probably hear the sisters are probably doing the same fucking thing.
So you want Zelda, Argo, and June involved?
There's no point not. These are the people that we were going up there anyway with, so...
I mean, if they're gonna be watching anyways.
Obviously, Zelda doesn't want to go up all the way, so it's like...
This is just a squad meeting.
Squad meeting!
Squad!
Squad up!
That being said, Porthos would never sit on the log. He would ask her to sit.
How dare you assume things?
And I guess the only other point of interest to...
Just picks up.
On my lap.
I guess, the other point of interest to think about is...
Hold on,
It's too small.
I got it. Hold on.
Yeah. What's your thing, Armo?
The only other point of interest to think about is which body would Gorthos be talking about this with?
This one. I don't think Donu were that big.
There we go. Good enough.
Good
There
enough.
we go.
Ah, I see.
Sure, why not?
The goddess who deserves a better throne. My lap. This dick. No.
Anyway.
There you go.
Anyhow.
God.
We got to get that bass better. Hold on, let me fuck with it. Keep going. Is this everyone?
I think so, right?
Well, Rudon is too young to give a shit, probably, and the sisters they're not going nowhere.
There we go.
If they're nosy, they can listen in, but I mean...
Wait, which one is?
Yeah. If they want to, that's their prerogative.
Which one's nosy? I assumed all of them.
No, I was checking what Ronan's base was.
Oh.
Nope, that's way too big.
He's a tiny Gorthos.
He's a big Gortho.
Now he's giant.
Don't worry about it. It's normal.
We got it. It's good.
Gorthos is a growing boy.
There we go. Perfect. We did it.
And also shrinking.
And also shrinking. Bone degradation, man. What are you gonna do? So at this point, it will be all of you guys. As you guys are around, Nimbus will basically just be sitting next to the fire, poking at it, but looking up and about. Do we understand what we're going to do then? If the cake's going to be done tonight, I think we should make our way out immediately. We don't have that much of a rush, do we? I mean, I would love to see Grandma as much as anyone, but I doubt she wants to see me.
Well, there were some points of interest along the way, weren't there?
Yes, but at the same time, once the cake is finished, if we want to get it to them in a timely manner and in a suitable condition, we might not want to dilly-dally and sorts. It will go stale.
I mean...
We could also make our way back to do anything once we get that place put into your house, right? That's what... are we, if we're gonna do that? I don't know if you guys are planning on putting a door down there or not. I don't see why you wouldn't do that with every place you go to.
Do we have any more?
We have plenty.
We have a room full of them.
Oh, okay.
It would be convenient, until I am able to go into the dungeon in Spectacle Rock, which it doesn't seem I can quite yet. Even if we do go to Spectacle Rock to see the witches, it does not mean I can go in there.
When it comes to looking for that skull kid you guys said you were talking about, you would need a Kokiri with you to get your way through the forest. I could do that, or I guess you could also have Z.
Where the heck is he?
Z hasn't come back for a while. Didn't he go to the forest?
Yeah, he said he was taking off on some grand adventure or something. What did he say he was doing? I don't remember.
He was helping Kuro and them do the thing.
Oh, yes.
Right.
The last time I had saw him was whenever we were messing about moving Hickory Dickory and Dock and getting everything settled there.
Did he not? So he didn't come back with you guys?
Oh, well, he came back, but then I guess he must have went right back out. I don't think he came with us to the trip here, no?
No.
I thought he was maybe in Ronan's bag, since he likes to be in there.
No, we would have heard him by now.
I mean, do you have...
When it comes to the forest, I mean, the Koroks the Koroks are a little bit rough around us right now, but they don't attack fairies.
I'm sure he's fine. I haven't seen him in a while.
We will conduct an investigation soon. But for the moment, as much as callous as he might sound, for the moment there are many things in front of us.
So, the plan currently with the cake, as getting back on target with what Polo said, we should probably want to get that to them quick enough. What is the amount of time it would take to go around the Kokiri forest?
Time is debatable there.
With the regular...
If you don't plan on going through, I mean. If you plan on going through, I'm sure it would take a lot less time, but going around the forest, how long would it take?
I've made that trip before, depending on which way we go. It shouldn't... You have to be careful with the cake. It could take a little bit twice as long.
Are the bandits still at the river domain, or have they left yet?
I think that some of them have made their way back to their home, but we still have quite a few of them still around. Some of their carpenters and whatnot. I believe
Do we want to
that
ask
the
them
queen.
if they could get us there quicker?
I believe the queen is still being a guest among each of the different areas right now. Though I think the last time I saw her, she was in Castletown.
I mean, are they not an option to get us there a little faster? Maybe.
If they have their roads that can go that far north, then I think that's a grand idea. From what you all said, you had made your way halfway across Central Hyrule in only a couple of hours last time.
I did say I was going to talk to the Bandit Queen for Miss Misty, since it actually would be quite beneficial business-wise, not only for Lon Lon, but for Hateno, since they are going to be needing to rebuild.
I could try to find where she's at right now. She's most likely either back at Hateno or in one of the three kingdoms. They seem to be talking quite a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just go turn on my TiVo, then I'll be back.
All right.
The name
Thank you.
TiVo.
Give
For those
thumbs up.
his name will not catch on.
His Sivo.
It's an ancient form
My
of magic.
SeaFo! That's not scrying is now, it's actually SeaFo.
Wow.
Can't wait for modern Zelda times. So they have Sivo.
All of Argo's kind will then be considered tech wizards and will go into cyberpunk, it's right. But yes.
I assume we'll have to take the cake on the same way that the other people have, but I would like to be able to use one of these magic cards to just put the cake in the card and then pull it back out as needed so it doesn't, get damaged.
I think that's a great idea no matter what. It's a great way to transport it.
I mean, I think I have a blank card.
I have 3 of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
We got a couple more when when we survived the fall.
Oh yeah.
So, you just see June look forward. What about when we get there? We're obviously going to be talking with the witches that are there, right?
Yes.
And you have something you need to do while we're there as well, Polo, right?
Yes, but the dungeon up in Spectacle Rock might not quite be open, so it might be some time. And after we discuss what we discuss with the witches, we shouldn't need to dwindle there for so long. We could
Then
probably...
we could go there and check out what we need to from them, because I will be honest with you, there is no way my grandmother is not planning something.
Yes, I do know that, I do know that Galen was probably interested in going to the witches, but was concerned that the goddesses would not allow him to.
Well, that is not fair.
So I was thinking maybe I should discuss with him if there's anything he wanted me to inquire in his stead of his grandmother.
It's probably a good idea if he can't make his way.
And maybe if they can do something about that little goddess problem, knowing witches and how sly they can be.
Oh, believe me, they can definitely mess about with goddesses.
She just remembers when freaking Ivori set Zelda on fire.
Gorthos still thinks you
I still have that spell in the dagger.
Yeah, by the way, I haven't changed my mind. I'm not going to see Ivori.
She
That's
will
fair.
most certainly apologize.
Will she?
Are you
Gorthos
sure about that?
She will have little choice in the matter.
I think that I will spend my time, perhaps either among my people, or maybe I will go and see what these hot spring things are all about. Since that seems like what a lot of people are going to, where a lot of people are going.
The hot springs up on Father's Manor?
Yes, I believe that you all said that I'm allowed to go there now, right? Without anyone
course.
feeling odd about my presence?
You should not be disturbed, I do not see.
We are pretty sure that most of the other demons who are there are not puppets in disguise at this point.
Fairly certain, yes.
And I'm sure that as long as nobody is too loud, Masterful Circuit shouldn't have any issue.
I think they've had the pretty damn loud from halfway across the kingdom.
Oh
You
yes,
would be
he did leave.
surprised.
Oh yes, he did!
He's still
Honestly,
dealing with stuff over there.
Noval Circuit, no Ivori, sounds like the perfect place for me.
I found my I found my new summer retreat.
He wishes you would get that thing. You would all get along more.
Oh, pats on Gorthos. Some miracles aren't meant to happen.
You can. The helmet's on, but you can tell his expression.
Some miracles even I can't perform.
That's the thing of helmet-wise, it was looking down towards her, and then it just tilts up, looking towards 1,000 yards there, just it says everything it needs to say.
You can tell there's a puffy cheek, even though there's no way that's possible. Speaking of other individuals, though, Gorthos would be lying if he said he did not deeply wish to go see the boulder.
I mean, if
Well,
we take the quick trip and we put the cake in a card, then I see no reason why we couldn't do that on the way, right? Because the cake's not going to go bad inside a card.
We could also just go and do that today.
Yes, but the witches do seem to be losing their patience.
That's what I was saying. If we go and do it today before the cake is complete, then we have all day. We can go and speak with the Gorons if we want. We could even make our way down and potentially, talk with the person that almost murdered our friends. Let's not do that one, actually. Let's not do that. We can go talk to the Gorons.
We have been leaving them a little bit high and dry with making them wait so long.
They are distressingly patient at times.
Are you sure about that, or are they just maybe taking more time to brew their ire?
Gorthos is uncertain if spite is a word they understand.
I mean, you gave them a message, right? I'm sure that they would have given that message to them by now, and they would have maybe made some preparations for you.
One would hope.
Unless they forgot. Gorons are, well,
They're so kind.
they're
But
really
they're
kind.
100 Rupee says he still has the note in his hat.
He supposes if you were to gamble, you should guarantee a victory.
I'm back. River Domain.
Ah,
All
thank
right,
you.
cool. So I guess we should go talk to her then, huh?
So the plan right now would be that we go and speak with the queen, the Heron Bandit Queen, get whatever we can from them, and maybe have one of them escort us, either from here or from Castletown. If we go from here, we could maybe even purchase, if any of you have any money, one of those Lon horses I keep hearing so much about. And then we go and speak with the Gorons, and then we make our way to Spectacle Rock.
How much are
Yes.
Lon horses, Nico?
They're decently expensive.
What does it seem?
What's the ballpark of the cost?
It depends.
You could negotiate with your sister because she's technically the de facto mayor, and we did save her life.
I don't know if they have any of that money left.
She's gonna be the mayor. She can give us one.
She ain't the mayor now, so she doesn't have access to the mayoral
You're right.
mayoral
You're
fund.
right. She's just the only one on the fucking ballot.
You don't know. Maybe Gorthos wants to partake in politics.
You can be on the ballot but not have access to the stuff. I don't know.
Does not hurt to ask. It's true.
Does not hurt to ask. Well, how many horses do we actually want? Because, like, just one?
We have 3 carriages.
It's like 6? Pull each carriage? Like,
I mean, the carriages we were given by the king are all being pulled by horses at the moment as well. Though, I'm not sure if Lon would care to have horses from Castletown. I hear that they are still rather high pedigree.
They probably just breed them into the blood. And then have royal Lon horses. That's what I would do.
you really like breeding things together, huh, Polo?
Well, you have to also think about the equity of the equines. The equine equity. You would have your regular Lon horses, and then you would have your royal exclusive Lon horses. Not only are they Lon horses, but they are Lon horses from an established bloodline. I fail to see why you do not see the market standard here.
No matter what age he wakes up in, economics still hurts his head.
Same.
This is very profitable for Lon's future. You see.
This is why Jasna handled these things.
I don't even live here.
I don't even live here.
Wow, you just have so many plans of revolutionizing both the both farming and horse rearing, huh?
If I'm supposed to be the sovereign of an entire nation, I should be.
Do you think if we plant a horse in our garden?
No.
I don't want to imagine how that would even work.
Would we get steak or glue?
Or horses?
Oh my god.
Or horses?
Just tiny little horses that run around.
I mean, we didn't get bears with the bear meat.
They're bug sized.
Well, yes, but that is because
Horses.
we planted bear meat. But if we plant the whole horse,
That's cruel and unusual.
Gorthos thinks that you're taking this gift of a magic garden a little bit for granted.
I just want to know the limits of it myself. Is all I'm thinking.
Sometimes limits are not meant to be tested.
I
Besides, I'm not-
disagree.
Besides, I'm not sure if my carrot lemons are finished yet.
Your pardon?
I'm engaging in fruit-vegetable crossbreeding.
She is doing this. I watched her do it. It was really funny. And I hope forever
Banana
that it
carrot.
works.
There we go. It's a banana carrot. I had to look back. It's a banana carrot. It is going to have the nutritional value and heartiness of a carrot, while also being good for the eyes and also the invigorating strength of a mighty banana. And survive the harsh winters of the north. Nimbus seemed excited. Mr. Nimbus seemed excited for them.
He's just looking at you.
You just see Nimbus's eyes closed. He's not gonna respond.
He's like, I hate carrots, but I love bananas.
Love
You know,
nanners.
perhaps Gorothos will just leave you to your machinations. Surely this will work out for the best.
I hope so.
All right, so I guess we go talk to her.
Yeah, we should probably talk to them first. That way we can see if they need anything special. Shall we make our way off to the river domain then?
What if you
Sounds good to me.
He just quiet and just looks at Polo? What if you enchant the fruit as well? You think it would be magic carrot bananas?
I mean, you could, but that would also seem like a waste of magic if you can get it naturally. Also be easier to mass produce later on once I harvested seeds.
Is it gonna have seeds?
It should.
What do you flower? This is getting too deep. Gorothos knows where this is going. he just like picks up stuff and just puts her down.
This is cross-pollination and just a little bit different.
Do you think they'll be like root vegetable? They pop out like a root vegetable, or do you think it'll be a tree?
It's a berry, not a fruit.
The garden seems to pretend that everything is somewhat of a berry. But what matters is
Berry.
what is in the fruit itself, and then I have to learn how to properly harvest it outside of a magical garden.
The Sage of Creation didn't think about what he'd unleash upon the world.
I don't think he thought a lot about it at all, personally. I think he just did it for fun. And somebody in the very future was gonna have him freak out about what they would do with it. It might have just been a prank.
He wished to have known this, wise man.
So much good that could come from hearty fruit in the winter.
So like if he was a sage, if Gown becomes one, what could he do?
Anything. So, before he lets himself fall into this rabbit hole any deeper, we should best get to going. To
Yeah.
see the queen.
Are you guys still hanging out here?
Huh?
Just Ronan pops his head back
Rowan calls out of the window. Are you guys still out there?
How did he move so quickly and quietly?
He's a trained specialist.
How did he move me? I don't. I didn't even know how did he move me.
How did I get in here? He just fucking threw her over his shoulder like a caveman and just walked right inside.
How did I get in here?
You guys would make your way back, going back inside. So the current plan is to make your way to the river domain, speak with the Harem Bandit Queen, try to get some Harem Bandit help to get you guys into Spectacle Rock at a decent time, and then make your way back here, go over to the Gorons, and then come back for the cake, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Just for the sake of things, Marco has put away the 6 carrots that he had gotten previously at their house, because he definitely had enough time to do that.
As you guys will do this, we will say that most will stay behind to get your guys' carriages ready. And just bring those who would go to the river domain and actually have any say in river domain stuff with them. By the way, you guys do note that when it comes to pulling any of your carriages, you could technically also use Dawn to pull one of them if you'd like. Unlike Magic Frog, Dawn doesn't have to hop everywhere he goes.
Yeah. Not as bumpy as a ride.
Because you guys did have Magic Frog kind of pull one of them before.
Just gotta get him set up like a fucking little fishing rod with some Popeyes on it, and then just fucking get going.
So
Now,
you would only need to get 2 horses from Lon Lon if you wanted Lon Lon horses. But we will see. As you guys would get all together, you guys would make your way off toward the river domain. Easy enough to get there. You guys plop your asses out. As you guys get around, the one thing you guys will take note of is, again, there are people all about who are getting things ready, who are fixing different parts of the river domain, making sure that everything is sort of settled in this place. They don't want to keep things going. After a month of being here, you guys will take note that as far as the actual city itself, before it was a lot smaller than this, with that one little kind of side area down to the south where all of the people from Ateno was staying. Now it seems there are even more huts than before. There seem to be a lot more huts. It seems that a lot of people from Ateno are basically just allowed in the main city as well. You also see that there are some regular Zora who are here, and by regular I mean Sea Zora. There are some other like changes about throughout this place that have happened in the past month, but you guys mostly make your way over toward where you assume everyone is, which is over by where the main area had flooded with fire and lava before. As you guys make your way over there, shocker, there's no lava.
It's all just igneous rock and stuff.
There is lavant.
Lavant.
It is lavant. There's no lava about here any longer. Some areas still show some signs of scarring from the change, but a lot of people who have worked on this had mostly seen this as the main thing to work on, because this was kind of the queen's place. So a lot of them did seem to take priority on this place. A lot of the things were done for here quite early in everything's career. However, upon stepping here, there are still a couple of people who are around. There are still a couple of people who are doing their damnedest to get things working. The one thing you will take note of is that there is a queen around this place. There is a River Zora queen. As soon as I find where I placed her, because she does exist in places, I am sure. Where'd you go? Did I put you over here?
I
No.
found her.
Where's she?
I'll bring her over.
Where is?
She was
where
over by the other big table.
other big table.
Yeah, in the middle of the map.
The middle of them.
Like in the middle of the table.
See, this
You're-
is why you
you're-
need to ping things.
I have been pinging.
Well, tell me when you're pinging. This table. You said I was looking at the other table.
Yeah.
Where were they at? Oh, there she is. There she is. Yeah.
Literally.
I'm looking for the other queen.
The other? Oh, the other queen. I'm surprised she's not actually over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The other queen is.
Is she over here?
Is she among the faces over here?
Harem Bandit Queen, where you is?
I see Slaverman.
I
That's
promise
not
I
who we're
won't be
looking
mad.
for.
I might be mad.
Might be a little mad.
Might be a tiny bit mad. Because I do need you.
Gorthos
You do exist
bodies.
in places.
Bandit Queen, Bandit Queen. She was over here with where all these other people are, where the workers are. Sierra. I found her.
Oh, I see. Oh, there we go. Oh, I literally pulled her out of the area because she was sideways.
Yeah.
Because those workers were ones I just pulled out of that area.
Mm-hmm.
She was all sideways, though, so I couldn't see who I was pulling. That's funny. Thank you very much. I will move the River Queen over there as well, now that that one has been found. That is Squirrel.
I'll bring her over.
There
It's
we go.
fine.
I grabbed Squirrel whenever I was moving. Thank you. You guys would take note that as far as the things are concerned, there are places where the Bandit Queen as well as the River Queen would be off on the side of this place. More people coming and going as they would be. They mostly just seem to be chatting about anything in particular. It doesn't seem like this is a formal meeting. You do see that there are visible signs of distress on the Harem Bandit Queen's face. And as far as the River Zora Queen, there does appear to be a little bit of not concern, but more of a serious look on them. The final thing you will take note of as you look around this place is that there is another person about that is somewhat familiar to you guys. You see this man's over in the area.
After
you
10,000 years, he's returned.
You guys see what appears to be another harem bandit, but this one you guys can give at least a bit of a face to. As you guys see, Gru is sitting over beside where the harem bandit queen is.
More than we can say for her.
Honestly, she just looks the same as all of them. Let's be honest. No. With that being said, I'm guessing you all approach.
Yeah.
Again,
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't look like they are doing any kind of actual grandstanding thing. There's not like a ton of food put out in the way or anything like that. As all of you approach, you guys will see that that the River Zora Queen would look off to you, all of you. It appears that my daughter has appeared, as well as the champions. Greetings.
Mm.
You guys look at Sierra, who's
Hello.
looking back at you guys with at first a bit of a sad look, but then like they seem to brighten up. Like, oh, welcome back. How are all of you?
Hey there.
Hmm.
We're doing all right. We're just came to talk to you. Actually, is everything okay? Is this a bad time?
No. It's. I'll take my leave. You see Gru go to stand up.
Mm.
As he
It
does,
has-
he looks over to each of you.
It has been some time, Drew.
What was it? The auction?
Yes.
No, it was after
Thereabouts.
that. I don't know. Either way, looks like you're all doing good for yourselves. He starts to walk by.
We are?
You yourself.
What'd you say?
And you yourself seem to be doing well.
He just kind of like looks. What, you've heard something of me?
Quite the opposite.
Then I don't see how you can make that assumption.
In his experience, people who are on hard times show somewhere in their eyes. You see unfazed, unchanged. So something must be going about.
I mean, he does have some dark circles.
He's always had those.
Then I was correct. You were that tiny Kokiri, weren't you?
Northos is one of many shapes and sizes.
He starts walking. Sorry, I don't trust stalls.
That's
And you don't know who, you really don't know who Northos is then.
I know who Gorthos is. My words don't change.
Hmm.
Have a good meal.
Later.
You see Gru making his way away. As he does, you will see that he does still have the things that he won from the auction about him. He does still seem to have the lantern on him and things of that nature. However, he would make his way out and about. He would, as he left, give a look over toward Ronan's armor. looking it up and down. He seems to nod at it before leaving, like, I get it, all right. I guess it fits him better now.
Oh, was that also one in the auction?
Yeah, that's the one thing he was
Yeah.
trying to
Oh,
get from the
okay.
auction, and you
I
took from
completely
him.
forgot.
That was the main thing he wanted from the auction.
Get wrecked.
True.
Hmm.
Jasmine's the goat.
Now that I look at Mr. Gru, something kind of comes to mind.
He does look like.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
looks like a harem bandit, but he is not one of them.
He used to be. Sierra just kind of
Used
like
to
looks
be?
over. Sorry, I don't mean to talk. I don't mean to overhear, but you are talking loud next to me. Hi.
We are, in fact,
Hi.
a couple feet away. Hello.
Sorry
Oh.
about him. He's a little standoffish with everyone.
Hmm.
His words intrigue with us.
Oh, is that like the one that you've been looking for or
Oh,
something?
No, definitely not.
How long, you say he used to be a harem bandit. How
Well,
long was he a harem bandit?
I guess till around the time they started calling themselves that.
Have you?
He worked with me a lot back before we gathered as many people as we did. Then he started being a lot more scarce ever since he found out most people were just staying around me because of me.
And looking like him?
They mostly dressed like him because he was one of the stronger warriors we had, and he dressed very, I guess, simply. He has always
thought
had
they-
this thing about not wanting to get any kind of garb that isn't more impressive than his own.
I thought you said that they all dressed like that because that was the person that you liked dressed like that.
Yes, that was a description of your lover.
We all sort of had the same kind of cloak and garb look. It's just that he was the only one out of all of them I could tell apart.
Oh.
The one that I'm looking for also, again, wore near the same garb, but they did not wear the armor beneath, and I guess Gru is a comfortable feeling for me because out of everyone, I at least know he isn't the one. You know?
Oh, I see.
Because he was always around when the others were, which means out of everyone, he is the only person in the entire world I think I can even assume that isn't them.
I see.
It's weird. I've had a lot of time to think on it. Either way, I'm sorry.
No, there's no need to apologize. In fact, one of the reasons we came here is to see you.
You can also look. They also seem to have a slight cloaky thing about them.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
same
yeah.
cloak is what all of them wear. It's just Gru is the only one out of all of them that wears it, but also has enough of a distinct look about him. It's like no one would
Man, it
would
turns out when you clear the hair from your eyes, you're a lot more identifiable.
no one would do this. Look, this guy is a completely different guy, right? They're completely different.
Totally.
It's the backpack, obviously. He doesn't wear a backpack, and he carries a sword and not a
The
dagger.
one on the right looks more like a fuckboy.
Oh my god, he actually is wielding a sword. Ooh,
Yeah.
sword.
He has a sword. He has slightly different armor, but he does have the same kind of pant and,
And a different
area
belt.
kind of thing. Yeah, he's a good boy. I mean, he's not, but he's a boy.
He is boy.
He sure is Gru. As Sierra sort of like looks back over to you, he's not as bad as he puts himself out to be, but I guess he takes some getting used to.
And there's Gothos wronged him in the past somehow.
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe he's not the most forward about his past, but even whenever I was first going around with him, he seemed to really not like stalls. I don't know why though. I mean, other than the normal. And I know
Needs
that
to
you're not
be
a stall, but it's also him.
She just said she knows I'm not a star.
Yep. I'm sorry, is that like a big thing?
Shrug.
You stalls have never been kindly looked upon. Ever.
You have a very distinct way of talking. And whenever it comes to my life, I have to pick out details really, really well.
Porthos has learned to hide certain things fairly well.
I'm just really good at picking out details is all. Sorry if that was I assumed everybody in your party knew.
Yeah, we know.
No, we know.
Oh, okay. I thought I said something
Yeah,
bad.
we're good.
Whenever you're surrounded by everybody who essentially looks the same, you have to have an eye for these kind of things.
Fair enough.
I was speaking with the queen about it and the king about it so much, I just thought it was a common knowledge.
Shit. One would think, but how easily people forget. And to be fair, most towns in the past have driven Gorthos away more often than they praised him since the mask fell off. So it's understandable.
Whenever, I suppose I might have been in the same boat before, but I don't see any reason why I would ever do that with how all of you saved Toteno. If it wasn't for all of you, I wouldn't have been able to even know what was happening there, and we might have been ran through whenever that place was essentially ransacked. I might not even be here without you, so you have no qualms with me, and you will always be welcome in Ateno as long as I'm around.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
It does mean a lot, all the same. Though, he knows most people are unwilling to do such things.
Let's go ahead and sit down. We have some things we'd like to talk to you about if possible.
Yeah. We all have things to discuss, yes.
As you guys would get yourselves around the table in front of where the River Queen is, she would look back to each of you. Upon doing so, what exactly are you all here for then? We were in a bit of a conversation before you made your way here, but it was not something we cannot have away from your presence.
Oh, we were just hoping we could maybe, borrow a few of your people to take us up some of your secret roads or whatever.
Oh, the pathways.
Yeah.
Sure. Where is it you wish to go?
Spectacle Rock.
Yeah.
That may be difficult. A couple of the pathways have been destroyed around that area, but we could take you on the ones off to the left of the Lost Woods if you like. Because of the way that dungeons arise out from the ground, a lot of the times our pathways end up becoming blocked. But we most likely can make our way through. We have several around that area. One of them is not the most comfortable, but it could definitely get you there. And the other one, unfortunately, we haven't been able to really verify, as it goes underneath the Lost Woods, and no one wants to try it. But we definitely have one at least to get you around off to the left. It could take you as far as the base of the Rito Mountains.
Yeah, it shortens it by a good deal. So yeah, I think that works, right?
If you were to make your way along it, it would take a couple of hours, but it is essentially a straight shot. And if you were trying to get to Spectacle Rock, you could probably make the whole trip in around a day.
That would really cut down a lot of time and make sure the cake is still fresh.
That is a crazy amount of time. It took us 3 days just to get from Castletown to Lon Lon. And this is a lot further away.
This reminds me, Your Majesty. How is the restoration effort in Hateno?
Well,
You see her kind of look a little bit uncomfortable as the River Queen.
it appears that there has been some pushback from some of the builders in Castletown. A lot of them
really?
like to think of those who keep themselves in the company of Hateno as understandably bandits, so they don't want to risk working with them. Whenever they had heard that their leader was calling themselves a queen as well, there has been some issue between Serena and King Magnus. It's nothing. We've worked things out. Everything's fine.
I mean, if there is some tensions as a result of your rule, there is another potential connection you can make that could benefit both you and them in Lon Lon.
What do you mean?
In need of people. They are in need of people for their own sort of building efforts. There's also the issue with a lot of missing men.
I had heard about people going missing. Is it only men?
It seems to be so.
Most of my workforce are men. It may be a little difficult to ask them to do something like that. What exactly is needed in Lon Lon?
I'm actually trying to remember. I can't quite remember off the top of my head anymore.
Mostly,
Nothing was super destroyed, was it?
they mostly need field labor because a lot of their fields are completely left without people to run them because of the fact of everyone disappearing.
It is mostly in the case of field labor. Most of the fields and other large laborious activities were done by the males, but due to circumstances that we still haven't quite got to the bottom of, not quite yet, they have all vanished.
So, farm work.
Yes. Farm work.
We could potentially spare some people for that. I would have to ask them whether any of them are fine with going there. They may ask if there are any way to give them any more sense of safety, but I'm sure that they would not mind making their way there. And you said that they would be willing to help with our situation?
Yes.
Right now, what we need is skilled carpenters and artisans like that in order to get our town back to normal. If they have anything like that, then we could definitely spare some workforce. If they're willing to work with us.
Well, it seems with their shortage, they don't really have much choice in the matter. And it is a matter of the fact of the Gorons and the Zora, they can't really go to them and appeal.
Most of us, as you have seen around the river domain as well as our temporary housing, we can make houses that are boxes, but we really need people who know how to, put things together correctly, who can lay out floor plans, who can give us instruction on how to do things. If there are people like that in Lon Lon, then I am perfectly capable of allowing for some of our workers to help them.
I see.
We gotta have some people like that, right?
I was trying to ask around Castletown, and they definitely have them, but again, most of them don't wish to work with us because of bandit things, and I get it.
She like looks over to the River Queen.
We know how to make huts. Though, to be fair, if you were looking for anyone who has artisanal ability, perhaps our sister tribe would have a couple. looks over towards you, Ronan. It takes quite a
Oh.
lot to build those more glorified walkways and houses that you seem to have.
Yeah, I mean, most of our stuff is made of metal, but we could. I'm sure they could work with other stuff.
Not to mention, as far as laying out plans and working with what they have, the Gorons would be perfect for that situation if they weren't currently, I guess, stationed for war.
Yeah.
When we were there last, a lot of the Zora were gone, right? From Zora domain.
Yes,
Yes.
a lot of the Sea Zora are gone. There are still some. In fact, there are some around here as well. But a majority of the actual warriors and fighters are gone, leaving only behind a lot of people who are essentially a militia of sorts. None of them are fantastic at fighting.
Okay.
They are mostly shopkeepers and
So
artisans.
if there are
and
any
things.
like artisans, then they would still be there.
Yes.
Okay. Neat.
And again,
Yeah, I
the
can-
only other people other than that are the priestesses, which are the only ones that are amazingly good at fighting.
Yeah.
I can ask about that. No problem.
And that would be perfect. Then, sure. Let me ask around my people and see how many I can spare, and we will send them. Do you have one of your magic walkways?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
then yes, we can get them to them post haste. I was
All
actually
right.
wondering if any of you would mind wanting to set something like that up in Hateno at some point.
There's-
I don't wish to use your home as too much traffic, obviously, but it would make things a lot easier going from the river domain to here.
It's no
Of course.
problem.
Maybe we can figure out if we could move the doorknob that we have in over there to Hateno specifically.
The ability to instantaneously transport across the world is something that we should capitalize on at some point.
If you are
Well,
to
that's
allow
just
me
time.
to make my way through each of the different places in Hyrule, each of the different cities, then that is a very valuable asset indeed. And again, we call ourselves bandits, but we are not the same as the Bokoblins and Lizalfos around here. We are not attacking everyone's businesses as they make their way. Some of us are a little more aggressive than I would like for them to be. You guys remember that they were being very aggressively helpful usually a lot of the
Yeah.
time when they talk, because they have a very
Aggressive salespeople.
yes. But we don't
know,
we don't steal from them. We
You know, it might
don't have the
Just-
best deals.
maybe this is unwanted advice. I'm just gonna put it out there anyway, though. Maybe consider a rebrand. You know, it might be worthwhile.
Maybe we should just make our way to changing a lot of things in general. I have been hesitant to change it just in case word ever is to get out. And maybe the idea that the one that I'm looking for maybe is not even in my group, though I do believe that there's no way he would have left. Maybe it is good if we change our name sometime.
Think it might chase off some of these suspicious types that don't want to work with you, or bring them in, I guess, rather.
I believe that that is a good long-term goal, but for now we need to make sure that all of Hateno is taken care of.
Yeah, of course.
Then that settles it. We'll make our way, going and speaking with the Gorons later on in the day. Maybe if we can talk something with them, we can figure things out. But until then, you find out who you can send to Lon Lon. We will see if anybody in the river domain or the sea domain could help out, as well as Long Long could help out with anything you would need, and everyone meets in the middle. Until then, can we gather someone to aid us in moving? Yes, let me go and see if anybody is available. She goes and stands up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You guys see Sierra making their way away. As they do, you would note that some of the bandits who were around, upon seeing them leave,
would put down their food and go to walk after them. Like, all right, time to move. Let's go. As most of the bandits would make their way out, you guys are left behind with the River Queen. As she looks to you. I suppose that is your business taken care of. That being said, I did overhear something about you making your way off to Spectacle Rock.
Yes, we are apparently meeting with effectively a coven of witches. Though I don't assume that they're all part of the same coven. They've just convened together.
They are essentially working with each other. I know of the witches you speak of. They are known well enough in the greater Hyrule area. That being said, I would be careful around them if I were you. They are rowdy.
You don't say.
Whenever I speak of them, I try to speak of them as well I can, but they are not a group of people that I would willingly associate myself with. No offense, of course, meant if any of them are among your friends. Well, if you don't like them, Mother, then they can't be all bad.
I don't know. One of them did try to burn a god.
It would not have been the first time.
Oh yes, my taste is so unwarranted, my daughter. Go and talk to your god-burning friends now.
I don't know if Host's family is very dysfunctional.
I don't know what you're talking about. We are very loving.
I mean, for Marco, this is his usual family.
Marco's like, this is like the most normal I've felt since being outside of Lon Lon. This is fine.
A family that bullies together stays together.
As she looks to each of you.
If it were any... If it is any, wonder as to these people, I would suggest taking Adam with you.
Why him specifically?
Adam has dealt with the overlayance of one's will onto another. He is someone who has lived with someone trying to mess with their mind for as long as he can remember. I would assume that if there is any funny business that is being held by those there, that he would be well enough to be able to combat it. That being said, if you do have friends among them and you do trust them, perhaps it is unwarranted for me to tell you to bring someone with you. It is just my suggestion.
Noted. I mean, Obra can do that as well. Right? You did that before.
I'm well enough with it, yes. If it comes to any sort of mental interference, it should be fine.
If Ori understands better than to let such magics permeate that place.
So you do know them.
She is his sister.
My
he
daughter.
understands the family resemblance is uncanny.
My daughter, I will tell you, I do not think that your skills are bad. I do not think that you have any less skill than I, as far as magic is concerned. These witches, the ones atop Spectacle Rock, are of a completely different level. That is all I will say. If you believe that you are enough, then please show me. And I will never go against your word again in the subject. That being said, if any of you wish to have more safety, I would not rely on magic when it comes to dealing with witches. Magic is their forte.
I'm sure Ober can do it.
The Resort Queen will sit back and she will sip some of her tea.
Then I wish you all good travel.
Thank you very much.
Yes. We will need that.
If there is anything you need before leaving, do not hesitate to ask.
Oprah will
keep
go
that
to
in mind.
Oprah will go to stand.
Goodbye, Mother.
I will stand with her and leave.
The two of you are making your way to go.
Yeah.
Is everybody else going, or what? Is anybody else have anything to say?
Good day. Whoop.
Marco and Gorthos.
Northos will be having many questions for his sister. If we make it back, he'll have questions for you too.
Be careful, Gorthos. This Ivori is someone who is as old as you, if not older.
He knows that.
I trust that you do, a lot more than I would. And I get that. But people do change. Be careful. You as well, champion.
Of course. Actually, really quickly, Your Majesty, could you make good on your promise and pull the spirit that's inhabiting me?
Oh, the spirit that you have within you. It
Yes,
appears
spirits. What?
It appears that,
As she looks to you, just again eyes over the cup of tea she has.
it appears that the spirit you have inside you is currently exhausted. What have you done to it?
It helped me.
Hmm.
I believe it saved me from taking a lethal blow.
I see. Well, do you have a container for it?
When you say container, do I need specifically a bottle?
If I were to remove an exhausted spirit from you now, it would pass on. If that is something you are fine with, then that is fine. But if you had a container, then you could potentially bring yourself to using such a powerful spirit again. Whether it has that same power to you is anyone's guess.
Mm,
It is up to you. A Poe spirit, one such as the one that is inside of you, is not one that, given the amount of time I'm sure it's been in the afterlife, and the fact that it has not attempted to contact you as of yet, it is not one that is entirely here nor there with its way of death. Essentially, I am telling you that it would not mind one way or the other.
mm. So if it were stronger, it would effectively contact me?
No. If it has not contacted you by now, I'm sure that it either has no mean to or no ability to. But if it were stronger, then from releasing it from you, it would be able to at least stay within any sort of corporeal form around here. Right now, with it being exhausted, if I were to remove it, it would pass on, dissipate into the air.
Mm.
And if you are fine with that, then I can do it right now.
I'm surprised that it's still exhausted. It's been at least 2 days.
Have you done anything spiritually to give it back anything since then?
I guess not. No, I didn't think about that.
A spirit that is inhabiting you has to gain its energy from something. Magic, prayer, exertion, taking something from you, giving something from it. Currently, you are in a symbiotic relationship with that spirit. It protects you, at least as far as it did before, and you give it what it seeks. I do not know if it has anything it truly seeks, but as far as keeping it going, if you were to train yourself or give yourself any sort of, well, exertion, perhaps it would take whatever energy that you would expel into itself, or even if you were to find something magically or spiritually that it could siphon energy from. It is like... It is not a battery. It is an item that has used up all of its charges, essentially.
Oh, okay.
It is something that does not replenish on its own. It will continue to be exhausted until you give it back. Until you complete the symbiotic relationship. If you would like, however, I know that you yourself have things you can do that are beyond what this spirit can give you. You yourself can be a container for such things. If you would like, I could allow it to pass on, and then you could use whatever ability that you have without worry of it. Perhaps you may even find a new spirit to help you. This one, as I mentioned, will not respond to you if it has not already.
Well, now that I know that I need to help it, I should focus on doing that then, instead of just trying to pull it out without understanding anything first. Thank you for the information, my queen.
If that is what you want. I'm letting you know, Marco, outside of game.
Yeah. Yeah.
This thing, literally, it is a spirit. It does not have its own will, is essentially what she's saying here. This thing is just kind of living. This thing's just kind of, I'm a spirit, I'm hanging out, I'm doing my thing. Oh, you almost died? Nah, you live, son. There you go. Like, that's kind of its thing. It is like a little guy that's like, no, the thing that my host is doing a thing, I'll help it out.
Yeah.
It is not gonna do anything other than that. That is just something it will do, and potentially if you recharge it, it may do it again. You know that your abilities do require you to have that open spot inside of you.
I thankfully have 2 of those.
You know that is something that comes with you, that goes with it, how that goes. If you get rid of it right now, it'll just pass on. Nothing will happen to it. Now, again, I would think, since that's something you've been going about doing up until now, it might be just best to do that. Because if you find another spirit, or if you find another thing like that, you could potentially do this same thing over again. But you would also have access to that other container inside of you.
Yeah.
Right now, essentially, if you do keep it with you, if you find some way to recharge it, that's cool. You have the extra like protection on you. But essentially, what it is giving you is what we have down here in the massive damage rules kind of thing anyway.
Okay.
Like, all it's doing is, if you go down to 0, it'll bring you back up to 1, like it did last time.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's useless. Having an extra one of those is always great. But I'm saying that you might be able to find something better, or that you might be able to mess about with something better.
Okay.
There's only certain people that can get rid of this for you, is another thing.
Yeah. I think that with that in mind, with all that in mind, I guess it would be for the best to allow the spirit to finally pass on, because it's done its thing. I may not have known what whole thing has been about, but if it's just like effectively a spirit and not like somebody's soul.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's a different thing.
It was, when it comes to pose especially, some of them keep a lot of their consciousness about them. Some of them keep a lot of themselves there. But if you...
The fact that this thing hadn't done anything like that so far...
The fact that it hasn't tried talking to you is definitely a thing. And again, I've mentioned this to you a couple of times, like, man, it's going to be really weird when you finally figure out what this is. It's essentially just a powerful Poe.
Yeah. Okay.
it is something that you definitely could still use. Keeping it is fine. Like she says, it's indifferent. it does not care if you keep it or not. But I think that your abilities could be better without it.
Yes. I will
Or if you're able to find a more powerful spirit, one that actually does talk to you, you might be able to use that instead.
Yeah. I will, with that all in mind, I think he will allow it to pass on. Actually, yes, please. Let's have it pass on. I think it's done enough.
That would be simple enough.
As she would sit up, she would make her way over to you. As she does, she looks to Gorthos as she's like,
pay attention.
As she puts her hand over towards you, Marco.
Are you sure about this now?
I'm certain.
All right.
She would bring herself to you as she would put a hand over top of your core, which would be around your center body, around your tummy. You would find that she would close her eyes. The gems along her would give light as she definitely seems to cast some kind of magic. Pulling back her hand, you would see a small wisp of some kind of energy, a small wisp of a soul, make its way back. A small Poe forming in their hands. As this Poe would be corporeal for a small bit of time. It would waver about in both of your guys' faces for a moment before a ghastly, just whispering sound would go through the air. Essentially, think of like air being let out of a tire almost. As it would swirl about you and dissipate into the air.
I refer to think of it as the Pikmin death sound.
You almost feel a sense of just, not satisfaction, but a sense of completeness from it. As it disappears into the air, she would look down to you and then look to Gorthos.
Passing on. None of us know exactly what happens beyond, but it is not something that I am fearful of. For nothing that I've ever seen pass on, at least this peacefully, has ever shown fear.
Noted.
You do feel, Marco, that now you have that extra zone inside you has now been reinvigorated, redone. I'm watching it go.
I have to do this now.
Oh no!
Goodbye, spirit. You have been with me for so long. I will miss you.
Quick, someone play a gunshot sound effect.
And now, also because of this, I have to erase everything else. Because it was all related to the spirit.
What it
October
was?
11th.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Don't forget.
All of that was?
Was.
Man, I can't
I
believe
love the
Rosebud is
week
dead.
after you put it down. You still forgot what it was.
It's great,
I still remembered it.
but you forgot it.
Wait, what was the green thing?
It was like a circle. It was like a circle or something. Who cares?
I don't think it was anything important. Okay.
But bring.
I don't remember if it was anything important.
If we moved the graphs, we could find out if it was.
Nah. We'll let it surprise us.
It was on the table though, so I can't imagine.
As this goes on, she would turn to make her way back. She would sit upon her large throne area with her little cup of tea, and she will continue to sip it. She will look back toward the two of you.
Anything else?
No.
That is all. Thank you very much for your time and your aid.
Give kind words to your sister.
Well, she won't believe him.
Yes, I have terrible, terrible taste. They sound like the literal fucking worst, and I have bad taste. It's fine.
No, I'm like, the rest of you guys would take note as you would return into the center of town after Sierra would have made her way. As you guys would step through. We're talking about Ronan and Polo here, as well as Obra, obviously. You guys would find that the members here who are sitting around, each of them have been told of what's going on and where to go. You find that Sierra is looking as slightly nervous toward each of them as she's talking, and finally she goes, "All right then, we'll leave it to a group decision then. If you would like to make your way off to Lon Lon and work the farms there, then please go right ahead." And as soon as they get to that point, every one of them rushes away into the hut, leaving her behind. Oh. She puts her hand down, her hand in her face.
Hell yeah, Sim Squad.
And anyone who wishes to make their way to Spectacle Rock.
Oh. I didn't realize this was all that was here.
As she sighs, she looks back to you guys.
Oh, hello.
Hey. So how'd it go?
Well, apparently there is some superstition going on in the north of Hyrule right now. People have heard about a large monster making its way off to the north of the Lost Woods. A lot of people are hearing a lot of strange magical somethings going on in the area to the east. And a lot of my people are extremely eager to make their way to Lon Lon because they hear about all of the baked goods and confectionaries that are around. None of them even care that men are apparently being abducted.
Oh.
I mean, everybody does love sweets.
I think that most of them are just eager to be of use to me, but none of them really believe that they want to risk their lives. This is fine. She looks around. Most of the other ones that are here are helping with the reconstruction. I will go.
Oh?
Yes, I do not know all of the trails as well as my men, but I do know of them, and I do know how to make my way into them. So I will go with you. Unless you wish someone else.
Well, it is mostly the matter of your safety.
The River Queens, she seemed to think that the area in Spectacle Rock is rather dangerous, but whenever she looks to Obra. Princess? Just Obra. Obra, whenever you had spoken, you seemed to believe that those here are very capable, and I have seen nothing to the contrary, so I believe that my safety is perfectly fine. Not to mention, I used to be an adventurer like you know.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Everyone here. No one.
Oh, I see.
Yes. What do you think happened?
I don't know. I thought you took an arrow somewhere or something.
No. Why would that
You think
ever
I'm
be a
supposed
thing?
to? How am I supposed to go anywhere with all these chuckle fucks?
Well, okay. I mean, yeah, we got you.
Then there we go. I've also honestly wanted to make my way about as of late. I've been itching to go somewhere on my own for quite a bit. Perhaps if I make my way away from my men long enough, then the one that I'm looking for will understand. And obviously, their feelings are the strongest of all of them, so they will miss me the most. And then it will be even easier to find them.
But you won't be there.
In theory.
Well, they say that absence makes the heart grow stronger.
I mean, I guess that is partially true. I do miss Gavin right now.
See?
Yeah.
Like motions over and grabs onto Polo. See?
That's fair. Yeah, you know what? That is fair.
Holds Polo out as if to express. See? Look, proof.
Proof. Proof.
I did it. I found the proof.
I found the proof. I just imagine a little tiny Polo that's like, "Hi, I'm Polo."
It's like little chibi in their arms and their legs kind of flailing,
Just
like just
Simba.
kind of like.
No proof, just distressed sheep noises.
How come whenever I hold you, you just shake everywhere? But- She puts you down.
Alrighty then.
Just instinctual.
Well, I have no qualms with this. We have enough people around, and as Gorthos says, this is his sister we're talking about. While I'm not walking into this with any idea that it will be easy, I'm also not thinking that any of us will die.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Just everyone flashes back to his brother Volcirk. And then to the cave incident with the throne.
Well, Volcircuit didn't kill us, so we're fine. No.
Yeah.
It should be fine. I don't think there would be any circumstances, unlike previous instances, where anybody's life should be in immediate danger unless we, again, seek the ire of the witches. I don't think we want to do that.
I think we're good in that department.
Also, my mother seems to think that magic may not work against them. Magic is their forte, but I'd like to remind her that it is mine as well, and we have Magic Frog.
Heck yeah. You guys got it.
We also have Rudam with us, and they are basically an atom, right?
Kinda.
They're like a little
What?
atom with a littler spear that is called a sword.
She just
I-
recently left the pools.
I was more meaning in the fact that we have, hopefully something that will give the mages pause with us with that sword.
And anti-magic stuff.
Ah, yes, yes.
Well, then, as she looks about, as the other two make their way. Boop, 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 boop. Marco and Gorthos, you guys step over the thing to see everyone gathered here. Are we all ready?
Seems like it.
You?
I was mostly speaking to those two since they just appeared.
Oh.
Oh,
Completely out of nowhere. Absolutely crazy.
Came out of the Queen's palace.
There we go. I was just wondering if you two were around. Emerald said BRB, so we'll get to Emerald in a bit.
Yeah.
But
Apologies, we were. It's nothing important yet.
All right.
well then, shall we make our way?
Let's.
As you guys make your way into the main area, you guys will note upon coming out from Lon Lon that there is a not out from Lon, you know what I mean. Bloop. I'm so off the map; it's hard to move people over. As you guys would come out from the main area, there would be a large, looking as if there was a bit of a scuffle about the area. As you would step out, the rug is slightly ajar. The rug, like things seem to be somewhat off. As you guys step out from the main area, you would see that there are quite a lot of harem bandits running down the road toward town.
Oh yeah.
You guys can see them. It's rather flat land.
Their enthusiasm is appreciated, but
I think a lot of them are just happy to be back in Central Hyrule. This is essentially where they did most of their trade, after all.
Yeah. It's been
The
a bit
river
for
domain
them.
is great, it's just a little bit moist.
well, if they're happy, they will be productive. Hopefully.
Then, I suppose I will make my way into Lon Lon while all of you go and speak with the Gorons, and I will speak to whoever it is I need to get some kind of trade going.
You can ask for Miss Misty.
Of course, I will go and speak with Miss Misty.
Miss Misty
Strange
Come
name.
Yes. My sister. She's great.
Oh, Miss. Oh, all right. Yes, I knew that. I was. They leave. They also start running into town.
It's very clear she was an adventurer.
Can't wait for Polo to tame that chicken.
Crushing social awkwardness.
Turns out
seems
it's
to
a
be running
soul
theme in some of
chicken.
them.
It's a zombie chicken.
Soul chicken.
You take the tamer class, but instead of one big animal, you get like a flock of cuckoos, and you're just
It just turns into a cockatrice.
cocatrice. Fabled cocatrice.
Yeah.
Born every once in 1,000 years.
Yep. The cockatrice.
You guys, at this point, you don't have any current things going on as far as getting horses or anything as such. However, you do need to go into Lon later for the cake, so you don't need to rush into that. Do you guys want to get in one of your current little carts and make your way off to the Gorons?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm totally mentally prepared for that.
That's why it's
Great.
the best time.
We will say, since one of your carts will be enough to house all of you, that you guys hitch Dawn up.
Hell yeah. Only if he's cool with it. Are you cool with it?
Dawn seems completely whatever about everything.
Cool.
At the moment, Dawn, the one thing you've noticed about Dawn is that he has two modes, angry and whatever.
He's like fucking what's his nuts from Pokemon, the Beedrill. He's like, whatever, Don.
Whatever, Dawn. God.
Oh, I miss those times.
His
still
two
can't
modes.
believe.
His two modes seem to be mostly calm or angry, and you haven't seen him angry since getting him first
bit
out
me.
from the thing. Exactly. He's been growly, but he's been fine. He seems to have his boundaries. Whenever you go to bring something over to him, it does seem as if he gives a bit of a growl. However, you also notice as you go over to him, he seems to have been fitted with a saddle since you guys were gone.
Oh, when did that happen?
You got you just look about toward everyone as you do see off from where you guys are at, off where the cuckoos and things are. You see Morrigan also seeming to be messing about with a large amount of leather.
Oh, okay.
I see she was a tamer craftsman.
No, she just had the saddle and she's like, I can't wait to ride into town on the back of a Dodongo. But you know.
I love her. She is just the wild child of the group.
But it didn't
Hell
seem to
yeah.
happen yet because you guys took them.
It really like helps the color palette. I dig it.
She's got an eye for those things.
Yeah.
It matches his strange glowing eyes.
It does. I love his strange glowing eyes. His strange glowing eyes are so happy looking. I love it.
Hypnodone.
He's such a cutie.
You
All
guys,
those wonders how long it'll take for it to be big enough.
I also love. I wanna fucking shout
also
this
wonder
out.
that.
When fucking FOMO sent me this art last night. Fucking, they were just like, the Don sends his regards.
Yeah.
God fucking damn it, FOMO. God damn it.
They sent it to me,
I'm proud of them.
and they're like, "Do you like the saddle?" I'm like, "I like the saddle." So show it to Eric. See if Eric has any say in what's going down. And they're just like, he loved it. And I'm like, all right, cool.
when it comes to our boy Eric here, you show him nice looking animal or Pokemon, he's like, yes, I love everything
Yes,
about
I love it.
I would change
It
nothing.
is.
You
It
guys
is immune to explosions.
would make your ways off into the main area over here, heading over toward where you guys had left the Gorons before. I will roll for the Gorons because they were told to look for more carrots. Let's see if they completed their task or if they failed miserably.
I believe in them. they are incredible boys.
We'll see, man. They failed miserably.
Cool.
Neat.
Oh well.
You see, as they are here, as they seem to be sitting off in the shade waiting for you guys, they appear to be nomming on some rocks. As they are nomming on said rocks, you do note that whenever they are looking over to you, there appears to be a bag next to them. This bag seems to mostly be full of something. As you look it over, for a moment, you're like, "Oh, cool! They got the things we wanted." However, giving it a second cursory glance as you watch the bag itself, the bag appears to move.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
As you guys get there, like, "Hey!
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, we were just having lunch." They put away their rock.
Ah, rock rations. I see.
Yep, we don't really have any rock roast on us, but the rock rations here are good.
That's
Why
good.
is that bag moving?
Oh, it's because it's, is it not supposed to?
What's in the bag?
Carrots!
Rocks generally don't move.
No,
What's that?
we got carrots in
Carrots?
there.
If it's
Carrots
moving-
don't usually do that either.
Oh,
You should check what's in the bag.
You
Well-
could just open it.
well, now that you're
Yes.
saying it's not supposed to move, I kind of don't want to look at it.
Okay, it's fine. I'll look in the bag.
Marco,
Let's-
you make
Marco,
your way
careful.
over to the bag. As you do, you look in the bag, and you see
Hi, little guy.
what
How you
appears to be a
doing?
slime. As you open the bag, you at first step back. You're like, lava slime. And then you realize it is not a lava slime. It is a green
What?
slime, but there are bits and chunks of carrot all in it that seems to have dyed it.
That's a
Polo, I
choo-choo.
think we have another industry to revolutionize.
We have a carrot juice choo-choo here.
No, die choo-choo Joe.
We just keep coming across those.
Are they not supposed to be common?
Oh, what industries to revolutionize? Not really. I wouldn't think.
Choo-choos, Rowan.
Oh. I don't know.
Excuse me, a what?
It's a choo-choo that's eaten the carrots, and it's dyed itself. Pretty sure it's supposed to be a green one, because it's not flaming hot.
Yeah, it's not giving
How
off any heat.
How many carrots did you say he ate?
Oh, we found a lot of them this time. We found like 20.
So the myths are true.
The myths are true-chew.
They say that if you consume many carrots in a short amount of time, they have to dye you the same color as the very carrot itself.
What?
You see the chew sitting here is like it's in pure I just ate a shit ton of food mode, and it's like barely moving.
Oh god! I can't eat
Just a
another
fat
bite.
chew.
full.
Just a fat blob.
It's very
just chilling.
it seems very full. There are tiny chunks of carrots just like move. It's like jello that you put like little chunks of food in.
Marco gives the little chew a little like a loving pat.
You pat it and go.
Bad.
"Brrr."
It just wobbles. Like deep
Marco-
baritone wobble
It's
noise.
just a 60s gelatin meal.
Yes, Marco, I need you to roll me for your allure, please.
Of course I will roll my allure, and of course I will use one of these. And of course it's a new day also, just saying.
Of course, it's also
That's fine. We can do that.
plus 57.
It's a brand new day, and the sun is high. You can
Go.
give me info as
I'll
I roll
just-
the die.
I'll just grab one of these as well.
Hey,
One of mine, one of those. And I want to roll so well on this. I have nothing else. I have one other thing to give. There we go. So 8. 14 is pretty good, in my opinion. And the final roll, 15.
So it doesn't
16,
bite you.
17. Or no, it's just 16.
So it doesn't try to bite you. As you put your hand out to it, it looks at you. Again, kind of just in that euphoric, I just ate a shit ton of food and don't want to do anything moment. You pat it, it doesn't seem to be aggressive at all.
I feel too,
Hell
I'm too
yeah.
full to be. I'm too full to defend myself.
It's like it could die right now and it's fine.
It could just die and it'd be fine. Anyway.
It's not lethargic in its gluttony. She'll try to reach out and give it a quick pat herself.
Roll a lore as well.
All
Do
right.
it. Get just not 20. Make this thing like us.
She'll give it a dish. She's been around enough chews that she's like, I think I know how to approach these by now. 12 plus 2 with charm of 2, that is a 16.
This would be your lore, so it would be a 15.
Oh, a
altogether.
lure. 15, okay.
As you do it, it's fine. It just lets you pat it. Roll me one more time. You got a fleeting. My bad, I didn't see it until just now.
Oh, okay, 1 sec.
Come on, get a higher number.
15.
15. So with the plus 2 and the 1 is an 18 now.
It seems as you do go to pet it, instead of it just kind of being fine, you guys both notice a slight rumble going through it, as you see it slightly jiggling all about from getting petted. It almost seems like a purr.
I was gonna say, I was looking at that shoes can fly.
Good for them.
They don't.
How big is this chew relative to us?
It
Like,
seems
it
it was
a
rather
cat?
small. It was rather small.
Like size of a fat cat.
It's a little bit bigger than the bag it was in, which is weird. But
It's
She's just gonna hold out her hands like, come over here, come to me.
that's as small as I can make it. But it is
That's
around. It's like a little bit smaller actually than this.
Yeah.
As you
She's
put
just
out your
gonna hold-
hands, it just seems to still be laying there.
It's too full to move.
She's just gonna scoop it up then.
Scoop.
Pick it
There
up.
we go.
You pick up
You know how to
your
soul.
you pick up your carrot cat chew.
Garf.
It's a cat.
Darf.
It's like fucking. It's like a Gordo slime.
You pick up
slime
Garf.
Garf. Like Garfield.
You
Garfield.
pick up Garf.
Garf.
And also my barf gelatin. So
Garf.
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 Well, it is extremely docile. I'll give it that.
It's because it's so full. It's basically a coma.
Yeah.
God, I'm sure that full.
Just another carrot or two, and it would probably be asleep for rather a couple days.
Or explode. Or both.
I don't think truth can explode.
You'd be surprised.
You don't
Yes,
want to be
you
near a choo-choo when it's so full it bursts. It's not good.
I heard they explode all the time in the desert.
Oh.
Could the chew there eat a bunch of sand, and if they eat too much, they explode. Or if they get filled with too much air whenever there's sandstorms.
Mm-hmm.
Life of a Chew is a sad one.
It's the
What a
same thing that
volatile
happens
life.
around the lake whenever it rains too much.
Oh. Huh.
Hmm,
So
that makes sense.
I'm guessing now that as a result of this, there are no carrots.
I mean, there they are. Points at him.
I mean, I guess just tries to like pick out a floating carrot bit from its fucking body.
The biggest you can see is like the size of your fingernail, maybe.
I mean, I could attempt to put this in the garden.
You also know that you guys basically have every carrot that you guys can find here.
Yeah.
So like the ones you guys have already put away, that Mark already put away, those are every carrot that you guys can usually find here.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they were Mighty,
Mighty, Endura, Swift.
Yeah.
And Hardy.
And Hardy.
I think, yeah, because I think the one in the garden is the most common type of carrot.
Yeah, just carrot.
Regular carrot.
Yeah. So you guys technically have 5 types of carrots right now.
Yeah. Do you want us to take this off your hands?
Well, we were gonna give it to you, so sure.
All right then. Let's solve
In a
problem.
technical sort of way, you did complete what we asked you to do.
They high-five each other. Yeah!
Thank you, brothers.
Brother!
Brother!
Well, are you all wanting to make your way back to camp today, brothers?
Yes, actually.
Yes.
We're sorry it took us so long to be able to come out and do this.
It's no problem. I'm sure that our captain hasn't said anything horrible about you guys while we've been gone.
I sure hope not. We've basically just handled things in Longmont to where the old mayor is basically going to be leaving.
Oh,
no one's
neat.
going to be... Yeah. So hopefully,
We hated
trade
that guy.
can
He was
actually
mean.
yes, he
Yeah,
was.
he sure was.
He nearly pushed my sister, his political opponent, down a well.
Yeah, we would never do anything bad to your sisters.
Say that with
I'm sure you wouldn't.
He knows they wouldn't.
As they think back to when they were bombing her.
Except
I mean,
one
that was
time.
an honest mistake.
It really wasn't.
They
But
just
that was
know
in
not
the
to do it
past,
ever
probably.
again.
They were the enemy. Fraternizing with monsters. How dare they, as they see this monster in Polo's hands.
And they
Well,
see the
those-
monster pulling our cart.
Oh God, you guys are gonna be, they're gonna love you at the camp.
Oh, we have a tamed dongo. They like that kind of thing. Right?
Yeah,
I'm not
right,
remembering wrong, right?
right, guys? You
I'm
love
sure
it.
it will.
Well, this assures you all, the Gorons are usually very nice.
They, as far as they've seen, only one of them has been kind of a dick.
Yes, that was a strange outlier, that one.
Making sure that I have the thing real quick. Yada yada yada. Ba, 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 ba. How dare you guys stop talking?
I thought we were going to transition.
We are going to transition. I just haven't put the fucking thing in yet.
Watch, I wish we could do the effect where we can just make this image just slide down like old Zelda, like Zelda 1.
Oh yeah.
It's like a screen transition. That'd
Yeah.
be so fucking cool, dude. That'd be so fucking cool. Holy shit, man. I'm
Come
sad I
on,
suck at
Fantasy Grounds.
technology.
What? Not Fantasy Grounds. Fucking come on, Tabletop Simulator. Get with it.
Don't.
It's not Tabletop Simulator. I fucking can't find the other basic ass fucking like fucking ground map.
Then just make one.
I have
Right now.
some, but I've already used them for other things. I have the way that the maps that I get them from Patreon. By the way, if you're on YouTube, looking below in our description will show you all of the different Patrons I'm subscribed to that we get maps from, and they're all awesome and we love them. But what I end up doing is I end up getting a ton of different ones that have like different things to them. And some of them, for example, let me show you. I'm just gonna use a different version of one of them. They have a bunch of different. I'm just gonna put this one in. Variations of them, and I end up using the ones that I need for any situation. Like this one, which is what we're gonna use, even though it was not the one I wanted to use. I can't find the one I wanted to use. Bloop. Is a little crater. And this one is a variation of the lava lake map that you guys were on.
Oh, I see it. Oh, hell yeah. That's cool.
So
Oh,
that is what we
Oh,
usually
fun.
get from things. It also got stuck inside of a thing, and then it went flying, and that's what happened there.
That was an unpleasant noise. That's okay.
Was it a noise?
Don't worry about that.
What the heck? Why are you guys having noises for? You should get rid of all the noises.
no.
But how
And
will
I know when
things
people are trying to fucking ping me.
I could also just say I'm pinging. But yes, as you guys would approach, you guys would make your way off toward what appears to be a rather large outcropping near a crater. You would see that there are some different kinds of fortifications and things like that put around in this like bit of a almost mining-esque area. It looks like people are digging up stuff in the crater as you all approach. Looking forward toward these people, you find that a lot of the ones that are digging just appear to be your everyday soldiers that are all around. You do note one of them in particular seems to be barking orders towards some of the others that are down below, but there are a good number of people around the area you guys are going to right here. When I say a good number, I mean bloop, 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 bloop. It looks as if there are a decent number of soldiers in this outcropping, some of them digging, some of them yelling down toward others who are digging. You guys would find one that you know of. You guys see the boy Duno, who was the one you guys had given the letter to. He appears to also be yelling down and like picking rocks up and taking it away from the crater, like all the other ones on the top. You also see back in the back of everything what appears to be the captain that you guys had spoken with. Seems to be sitting at a seemingly a table that is set up back in the back of this area, almost like a little war table. And finally, you find one other person who is around here, who seems to be yelling down toward the area below. This person, trying to... Is it inside the bag? Are you in the bag?
Why are you hiding?
Doesn't look like you're in the bag. You're not in the bag. That's Clavier. We don't need
That's
Clavier.
right, man.
I wish we needed him.
Clavier, get out of here.
No, come back.
Our
I
boy.
love you.
Forever missed.
I'm looking in all of the bags I have access to. Nope, that's the Goron's ruby. You guys don't need that.
We kind of do.
No. You guys don't need that. Don't even worry about it.
I mean, technically not here, but we kind of need that. I love that we've got those treasures and it's just like,
I
they're
don't
just
have
sitting
time.
at home.
I don't have time to look for it. Hold on. I'm just gonna take one of the other Gorons. I do not have time to look for this fucking thing. We spent like a minute looking for the other things earlier. Zelda desktop. And you guys see, as you all approach, deep down into the crater, as you guys are looking down at it, what appears to be this man.
Oh no.
Oh, hell yeah.
As
Fuck yeah, dude.
as you all approach, being led there by the two Goron that are about you, most of the others don't seem to stop you at all upon getting there. You guys are getting brought in, by the way. You guys, nobody is going to stop you. The two Gorons who are here seem to go and join the fray of taking rocks out from the middle. You guys hear from the center, "Come on! We still have a long way to go before we're below! Keep going! Woo!"
Is that who I think it is?
As you look down, He looks like a spitting image of someone. There are some differences, but he does look like an older version of someone you have seen before. As you guys each get out of here, hearing the screeches of the Goron down below.
Is there a party happening here, or like what's going on?
They're playing Minecraft. Leave them alone.
You guys would note, looking down in there do appear to be some entrance holes in different places amongst here. This is why this map was not made for this, and I could not find the other one.
That's fine.
There appear to
Looking at this
be
big hole-
caves all about.
There's a big hole and a bunch of like tunnels. Like, is this gonna? If it goes too deep in any of these directions, would that affect like the
Who
nearby
knows, man?
farmland too much?
Who knows? Man?
All right then. Okie doke.
If it does, I wouldn't expect them to know about it.
They're not very smart. They're
yeah.
smart, but they're not.
None of the Gorons currently seem to be giving you guys much of a second thought. Most of them just appear to be working. You would note that there are a few of them seemingly on patrol around the area. Two of them seem to be walking around, keeping like a circle of influence around the deeper edges of this place, going and speaking to the captain, Captain Rowe over here every now and then as they go through. But yeah, you guys all get out. Come on now, we're behind schedule. Keep moving, let's go.
So full of energy.
Yes,
Oh.
Mr. P.
Very much so.
Oh hey, Duno's over there.
So, the pathway's down, right?
There appears to be a sheer cliffside going down. As you look to the Gorons who are handing things up, they're large enough that they can make their way up and down. It is not a humongously high drop, but it is higher than one would be able to think logically of getting in and out all the time. However, the Goron appear to just be able to roll in and out very easily. They technically have a climb speed when they're rolling. It's really funny.
Is there any safe way to descend this right now? Because if there's not a safe way, Gorthos are gonna just fucking slide down the sheer cliff.
You don't think any of you would get hurt going down, but it is a rather far way down.
I
But
do
you
have my
guys
climbing boots.
you guys are decently sure you guys can get down without at least injury. Obera's just like looking down like, nah, I'll stay here with Don.
So you all there are there. Gorthos jumps down the hole.
Oh, whoa.
Goros, as you jump, Gorthos, as you jump down, you would see that there are even more sounds coming from each of the tunnels. Looking in the one you slid down and landed in, there appear to be even more Gorons inside, rolling back and forth, seemingly flattening out the land inside, ramming against the walls, and some of them even bouncing up into the ceilings. They appear to be tempering the ground all around them as they're going through the cave.
Well, I was gonna say I can get us down without doing that, but if we want to, if you all want to take the jump, that's fine.
Just in case, Marco will pull out his hook. He'll set it up here on like a rock that he thinks is sturdy enough, and he will scale down, I guess.
Easy
Let's wait
enough.
for everyone to do it first.
It looks like the Gorons, as you get down there, both of you, Gorthos and Marco, appear to be too busy to even care about you guys. They just appear to be rolling in, grabbing rocks, rolling out, taking them somewhat up to the top, putting them down, rolling back, doing this.
Yeah.
As they are going about things, the one in the middle just seems to be going over to each of them. Move it, move it, move
moving! Get going! Come on! Oh, get over there! As they go over, hey, keep moving! Get going! Hey, keep going! Go on!
Yeah, I'm waiting just for the others to come down the hole if they want to before I do my bit. That's what I was saying.
They go to Marco. What am I paying you for? Get going!
You're not paying me.
Move, 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 move!
Just watching him just not at all have lost an ounce of energy.
He seems to know that you guys are here, but he hasn't acknowledged that you're people that he doesn't acknowledge that you're people that are not working for him.
I love him.
Even though you are literally the only non-Gorons in the entire area.
I love how stupid he is. All right.
Ronan, I guess
Ronan and
will,
Polo, are you guys wanting to go down?
Heckin, he'll, if Obra seems like she wants to stay up here.
She'll stay with Obra. She's just like,
Just like sitting on Dawn, just like it's alright. Dawn will take care of us.
Don. Don will take care of us. I've gotta watch the baby.
I have to watch the baby. Ronan, you going down?
Sure.
Skoosh. Ronan, you would land down. The three of you who are going in the bottom are now there.
Okay, so
Put your
Now
back
what?
into. You call that a rock?
You just see Gorthos inhale, like you see his armor just move. Boulder!
I love the yell because it kind of cut off because of how loud you went.
it did.
I love it. Come back,
It's so
baby.
loud that we finally get those cutoffs because Discord sound.
You see him
Doesn't suck.
stop. As he does, most people in the area seem to stop. He looks around. You hear even the noise from the cave seems to have stopped. He turns around. Rolls up to you. Comes out of being a roll. Looks you up and down. Oh yeah? And who are you?
Gorthos, looking at him, pulls the sword out, sticks it in the ground, takes off the helmet, drops it, and then punches him in the face.
Go for a
Oh my-
punch. Roll me your Donu strength.
Oh my god, what is going
is it?
on
Oh.
here?
Roll me your Donu physique.
Do I get overwhelmed with that?
You're punching, so no.
Man, it'd be pretty cool, but that's an 11.
Get his point.
Did I?
You
We can do that,
punch
right?
him.
I can. Oh, okay.
After the roll is done, no.
Ah.
You punch
Right.
him. It lands square in his face. As he looks to you, he stares at your fist for a moment. He looks from the fist, then turns to see your skeletal face, then turns toward the fist. Not moving out of the way, not moving back. It's just his face like kind of rumbles around from the metal, his rock-like skin rubbing against it for a moment. You're
There's
wondering
just a shriek.
if the knuckles are going to get scratched more than his face is going to get scratched.
Yeah. There's just a moment where he's looking at Gorthos and it's just a straight face. Look, it was just like when he does a double take on him, he sees it start to break as tears starting to well up now.
As he sees you looking like you're going to cry. And what did you learn, whoever you are? Did you break your hand on me?
He's just reminded how you haven't changed a bit.
Oh yeah, I'm never going to change for anyone!
Gorthos missed you.
He stops. Gorthos? Well, where is he? Gorthos? Gorthos? Huh? Where's he at? Huh? Hey, get out of here! Hey! Don't send your little minion over here! Hey! Where'd you go? Hey,
He just
excuse
was
me.
walking
Hey,
around. He just grabs
you
him.
have time to stand around, you have time to go get a rock. Get out of the way. Gorthos!
I'm with
Gorthos!
Gorthos.
What?
Gorthos just fucking. This time, I wanna fucking clock him again.
You punch him in the face again. Roll again.
I give him a goddess point.
There you go.
I also give me a goddess point.
There you go.
In fact, they give me 2.
Fuck yeah.
So you have 3 goddess points. Go for it. Roll.
That's a 7, so 3 more.
Oh, come
Nope.
on.
Come on, bigger number. Hey,
Bigger
16.
numbers.
So far, it's 16 is the highest.
Roll me one more.
Oh, hey.
You got a fleeting.
Please.
Higher than 16. Come on, big money. Oh, that was almost an 18.
With a 16, you plow him once again in the face. He does not move. Hey, come on,
You-
kid! You're gonna break your fingers. It doesn't look like
You're
you can
also
stand to
just
break
as-
anything.
You're also still as stupid as you were 1,000 years ago.
Hey! Only my brother's allowed to tell me that.
He did tell you that.
Bullshit!
Just now.
Tell him to tell me to my face so I can kick his ass.
Gorthos is saying it to your face.
Well, you tell me where his face is.
Right here, he headbutts me.
Do you have to do this every time, or
Roll me again.
Yes.
You have a fleeting again as well.
I'm using more goddess points.
use them all?
I think you're just missing out on the greatest thing in the world, Spomo.
I'm sure they can hear it. Man,
can.
Come on, dice.
fuck. Sure can't have overwhelm.
One more.
16 again. Come on. Bigger than a 13. Bigger number than 13. Bigger
Let
number
this
than
be a cool
13.
moment.
8,
Yes!
21. Blackjack.
As you say here, and you headbutt him whenever he's asking where your face is, you do note you hit him. This hurts. As you headbutt this man's, it hurts like it always does when you headbutt this man's. However, you do note that this time when you headbutt, he does slightly recede from you. Very, very slightly. As he looks to you for a moment in a stunned silence before he looks back. Brother?
Brother!
Brother! As he throws his arms around your new frame. As he squeezes you in, you all hear on the other side these sounds of wrenching metal.
He's gonna have to buff that out later.
You guys feel like his armor will never fit him better than it is fitting him right now. As Gorthos, you get pulled up into the largest bear hug you've had since the last time the boulder had hugged you. And I want this to be known, because this was brought up in a thing. If this person is answering to the boulder, this is definitely Volduni, not the other.
Yeah.
Which is to say, this is Volduni, not Volmana.
He's the other one.
Which means that this is one of the 4 riders. As he hugs onto you, lifting you up into the air, as both of you are just calling out brother, he lifts up, holds you back up. As you fall down, you use your strength to lift up as much as you can. You guys are basically stumbling around the center of this place. as there is many just like yells from everybody. I'm like, yeah! And they just seem to start like punching at the rocks around them. You guys hear excited noises coming from them, from the tunnelways. As this goes on for about 5 minutes, before he finally sits you down. I'm getting old.
Starting to feel the cracks, are you?
Hey, these cracks are signs of power, not age. As you see, like a tiny bit of his rock-like skin kind of flake out about like one of his eyebrows.
1,000 years.
Yeah, who'd have thought you would live 1,000 years?
That was never in question, you know it.
Gorthos, where have you been?
Indisposed.
You usually wake up almost immediately. Or did you wake up immediately and you just haven't came and seen me?
The audacity of that notion. He's only recently awakened.
Oh yeah? Guess you must have heard about it too then. That shoves it. That proves that what we're doing is right.
G-Dog and the Zora.
You heard of him then?
How
The
could
bastard
he
that
not?
assaulted our temple.
He had feelings.
It seems that the people down below the mountain think that all we can do is run around and make things. They seem to have forgotten how strong we Gorons are. And with you with us, brother, this will make short work.
We have come with full intentions of putting a stop to this madness.
Yeah!
But we're not here to kill the Zora.
Yeah!
We're here to talk them down.
Yeah!
Cool, glad it's cool with it.
Here in a minute.
He's like, ha 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 ha!
You can see Gorthos counting down on one hand like 5, 4, 3, 2.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like they were cheering for a good like minute, and then he's like, wait, what? Brother, you're not gonna help us?
He is, of course, going to help you. But in fighting,
Okay, so you are gonna fight him.
If it
You
comes
have like
down
your
to-
words or like this weapon you made that you called words, right?
That was a failed prototype, but that's not the point.
It's like a big like mallet, and it like has like
No.
a slab on it, and it's like has the Goron alphabet. I'll make it.
You did. We don't.
If you haven't made that, I'm writing it down. I'm gonna get to make it first.
You. Fine. Listen.
You can have
Please.
the alphabet stomper, all right? Fine.
There has been problems with the Zora of late. Gidon is an instigator. He needs to be stopped. The other Zora are innocent in this. They don't understand.
Oh yeah? What exactly
Yeah.
do you know, brother?
Gidon did all of this of his own accord. He's using his position as the former king of the Zora to command them. Former. Older.
So they wised up and got rid of him, huh?
Didn't you receive the letter?
What letter?
Looks up to Duno.
Oh yeah! Hey brother! What is it, Duna? Oh, I got this thing for you. He starts going underneath his arm. He's like looking
It's in
underneath
your
his
hat.
armpit. I could have swore
Your
I had.
hat.
Huh?
Helmet.
Your helmet.
Oh yeah, there it is. He like lifts his helmet up, pulls out the thing you all had wrote on, hands it over to him. There you go, brother. Oh, thanks, brother. Let me read this over here. Uh-huh.
I wish someone
Gorthos
took me on that bet.
Gorthos just picked up the helmet and just brushing it off and just puts it back on.
I did it.
He pats him down. He pats him on the shoulder like, you did it.
Way to go.
Thank you for your
So-
help,
God.
brother.
So he would have remembered if it was in the place he normally puts things, but you guys put it under his helmet.
Yeah, I had a feeling that would be the thing, but
Fucking
you know.
hate Gorons.
How do these people exist?
It took a while.
They're just really strong. Nothing else
They're
can
very-
they have
this
no
guy's
natural predators
1,000
except
years
for
old.
they have
There's
no
a lot.
natural predators except for dragons.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
As you see him reading, he goes, "Brother, I
Yes,
have word
brother?
from Gorthos, who is
What'd you
you."
say? Yes, he knows. What did it say?
Well, you want me to stop trying to bomb the damned city.
Yes.
But, brother, I have to ask, if it not be a city of the damned, then why shouldn't I destroy it?
Oh. my goodness.
You see slowly and deliberately, you see his hands kind of shaking a little as he goes up to the ball of his neck and then just grabs the sides of his face instead. Just
It's not that
It's-
kind of city.
A city of the
Boulder.
damned is... It needs to be taken care of.
It
that's-
holds back water.
It is a damned city, not a city of the damned. Damned because it damned the river. That's what a dam does. Alduni.
Oh.
If
The
the dam
city-
blows up, it floods Lower Hyrule, the place we're in.
Oh.
Many thousands
I need
of
you to
lives
hold
will
on
be
one.
lost.
I need you to hold on 1 second.
Please. Go
He just
on.
starts yelling inside this cave. Halt construction of the Eastern Tunnel!
Do you think they're doing a good job
Wait!
delegating down there, Miss Oprah?
Wait! Runs over here. Halt construction of the West. Wait!
Oh.
This one was the Western Tunnel. Halt this up!
Oh my fucking
Also,
god!
you should halt construction of all the tunnels.
Just in case.
For the time being, halt construction of all tunnels. Did you hear what I said? In the other tunnel.
Gorthos just turns to Marco and Ronan, and you can hear him say,
Did you hear
he's
what
got
I
a brilliant
said?
mind for crafting.
What? Halt construction in the Western and all other tunnels.
He missed his old friend.
One moment, Gorthos.
Mm-hmm. He's just nodding, his arms folded.
This continues until he finally gets the message to all 4 tunnels and returns to you.
It's just stand, the thing stand there. He has a brilliant mind when it comes to the art of creation.
All right. So, just to get things straight,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
do not need to plant bombs all over Hyrule's underground.
No!
No.
That
not
is
yet.
unnecessary.
Well, you see, I feel that these tunnels are very necessary for what I was wanting to do.
Yes,
Mhm.
in that instance, yes,
For
Voldemort.
blowing up underneath Hyrule, yes.
Oh
yes,
no,
the underground.
no. All right, okay. Here's where my genius comes into play here. All right, sit down. You're gonna love it. So, I came down the mountain, and I talked to some Hylians. Well, I think I did. I can't quite remember what we talked about. I left, but whenever I left, I found some other Hylians, and I told them what I was doing, and they're like, "Oh, you're marching to the wrong place." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "Well, there's a bunch of Lizalfos camps off to the east, and we should take care of them." I'm like, "You're right, brother. I'll take care of them for you." Then I went off and I found some other humans, and I was like, "Hey, we're marching off to take care of these Zora." And they're like, "That's great, but there's like this whole thing going on. We keep hearing screeches coming from the forest to the north." And I'm like, "I hear you, brother. I'll take care of it." So I came further, and there was this farm lady, and she's like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey, we're going after these people." I'm like, "That's great. There's an army marching from the south." I'm like, "You're right. I'll take care of it." And then I found this other guy. He's like, "Hey, there's this city of the damned over in the west." And I'm like, "That sounds terrible. I'll take care of it."
Your altruism knows no bounds, Volperny.
So,
And so the plan
I was planning on taking care of all of Hyrule's problems with all the explosives that we found and brought with us. Yes.
Yes. I see. A very good plan. Very brilliant, I have to say.
Hear me out. Not done. Plan isn't done.
Okay.
I realized whenever we looked at a map, I'm like, there's a lot of water off over there to the west, right? And I can't swim. That'd be terrible.
Of course.
But here's the thing. I don't have to swim if the water goes under me.
You want to build a giant drain
Yeah.
for the damn city.
Uh-huh. Then
And
they can't
underground
use that. Then they
water?
can't use that water to kill all of us.
It would just.
So
Honestly,
you
I don't see why any of you kept all that water there to begin with. To be fair,
That's it. Okay. One step at
especially
a
if it's
time.
not a city to punish people for their damned actions, I don't see why it's all even there. I understand you're gonna get rid of a lot of people if that water goes. You should probably just empty it all in the desert. If I'm gonna be honest with you, if any place needs water, it's probably there. But
No.
what am I talking about? I'm just a guy who built an entire city on top of a dead mountain. I don't know a shit.
Your skills in the art of construction are never in question, Volperny. Problems, Korthos has noticed. Number one, the people living there in the city, they need the dam. All that water rushing out at once will cause catastrophic damage no matter where it goes.
I get it. I get it, Gorthos. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Do I look stupid to you?
No,
A little.
of course not.
I may have mixed up the Hylian word for damned.
It happens. The language is crude.
You also know he speaks no other language.
He knows. I know. It's
Gorons don't even have their own language. They're too dumb, aren't they?
no, they don't have their own language. So
Most places seem to not.
yeah. So it's easier. It was actually easier that way.
I might have mixed it up. It's my bad. I won't blow up the city, because that would be bad.
Yes.
But now that I know that, should I not blow up the other ones?
What do you mean the other? No. Okay. That needs to be a case-by-case situation.
So I can blow up the forest.
You cannot blow up the northern woods.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Gorthos. I've been in that. You've been in that. That place is a hellscape.
It is awful sometimes. We should not annihilate it from the map.
I mean,
It's
it'd still be
important.
there, it'd just be under a lot of rock.
There are innocent people living there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I think I get where I messed up there. I forgot that people lived in that hellish, awful, horrible place that they call a home. My bad. That's my bad.
They were called the Kokiri.
That's my bad. I remember. I knew. Atlanta told me about. I get it. I under. Then they can't move.
No.
Right. They can't move. They can't leave. They more like they won't.
They're
let's be
too
honest.
afraid to.
Right.
They feel if they leave that they would immediately die.
And so I should show them they're wrong by
No.
Hold on.
I shouldn't show them they're wrong by blowing up the
No,
forest.
no. Continue your first chain of thought.
By
You
blowing
should.
up the forest.
No.
Okay.
Don't ignore. Forget the plan to blow things up like that.
We'll ruin.
right now.
We'll bring the explosives back. All right. So that's not the city of the damned, and not the forest. Don't leave those alone. Okay. What about the monster camps to the west?
Tell Gorthos where west are these camps supposed to be?
I was told that it was to the west, so I was planning on exploding everything from the bottom of Death Mountain to the top of the Zoron Mountains.
The Zoron Mountain?
So, no.
Okay.
No.
All right.
There are various villages over in that area as well.
The catastrophic repercussions of blowing up things around and on Death Mountain would cause it to erupt violently.
Right. I didn't think of you are okay. I mean, I did.
Can we just not blow anything up? I think that'd be a great plan.
I hear you. I hear you out. Like you. I hear you. I get it. Okay. One more thing. Last one. I have all of these bombs.
Right.
And I hate the man who's off in the south. Can I blow him up?
Who is the man in the south?
The one who came to our village and destroyed our temple. Can I blow him and his army up?
You cannot blow his army up.
I think you'll find it will be very easy to do that.
You should not blow his army up. You should not blow his army up. Gidon will meet justice as soon as we can get to him.
We'll handle that.
This should be handled by the Zora people. And the Zora people back in the domain are aware that things are not as they should be.
Gorthos, I will say that is completely wrong. You see the captain up on the top of the thing off to the side. That's completely asinine, and you all know it.
I think that's
this one again.
Why do the Zora have a chance to go at this man and we don't? Apparently, he has nothing to do with them anymore, right? And we were the ones who were attacked.
You're not the only ones.
So that takes away our right?
No, that is not what Gorthos is saying.
I'd say if he's not their king anymore, then any who can put themselves with their ranks have chosen to be against us. They stole our sacred relic, they destroyed our temple, and they completely go against us in every way.
They are misguided. They did not sack your temple, Gidon did. Gidon riled them up to come here.
Bro, stand back, I have this. I think that we should roll. You see him roll back and go further than he was before, Polo, you see him get back to a very far area of this, over toward where there's a lot of seemingly large boxes and other things of like munitions and things. He seems to get over there and sit down amongst them.
He is not incorrect.
He isn't. And that's why this is hard. He is not the only one that feels like this. My son as well does.
That's true. You have a son?
Have you... You don't remember him?
Right.
We know about his son, Vomana, right?
That is his heir.
Oh.
His heir.
My bad. I thought he was just named after Volbeat. I thought that was a bit. I didn't realize it was related. My bad. I might have forgotten that.
My son also is, well... How do I put it? My son was scarred in the attack.
Oh.
I think the descendants of his riders would be in conflict like this.
I'm sorry to say this, Gorthos. I truly am. Whenever all of this started, this Gidan made his way to our people. He talked with us, and I could see the resemblance immediately. I knew who this was. I knew for a fact this was a descendant of the Sky Touched. You've seen him. I'm sure you've seen the resemblance as well.
We have fought him, yes.
When he asked us for our aid, I had spoken with him of the sacred rituals of the temple, as well as the coexistence we have made with their sister tribes. For the last several hundred years, we have actually given aid to the River Zora, wanting to make sure that their trials and the trails they walk amongst are never found by the Sea Zora. That being said, we do not go against them. Whenever he had made his way to the top, we had spoken with him, and he had spoke of unity amongst your people. He looks over to Ronan. He had spoken of trying to right the wrongs that have happened in the past. He would make his way up the mountain a total of 3 times in the time I've known the kid. Every time he would come up there and he would wish to learn. The first time, we told him of the lay of the land, and told him that if you can survive Death Mountain, you can literally survive anywhere, including the great deserts off to the southeast. West? I'm very terrible with sides.
It's fine. We know where it is.
The second time he approached, my son and he decided to make their way into the great temple. I do not know what all they got up to in there, but the two of them came out, smiling ear to ear. They were brothers. I could tell. Whenever I saw them, there was nothing but camaraderie. But the third time, the most recent time he made his way up here, was different. He was much larger.
Yes.
He had told us he had learned of the rituals that had gone down from the sister tribes. It was shocking to hear, but it seemed as if the rituals had worked. They were stronger. They were, I suppose, more focused. Whenever my son had asked if he needed help maneuvering throughout Death Mountain, he had denied him. I believe they had met several times before, on the bottom of the mountain or other places, but it did not seem as if he was
The same.
Yeah.
We know.
He made his way to the temple. He went inside, I'm guessing with the treasure that he had. Whenever he returned, however, people have told me the treasure was located deep embedded inside of his head.
Yes.
I didn't see it. The rest of us were too, I suppose, docile. We had wanted to know what's going on, but we were ready to wait for him to make his way. My son wasn't. He began to make his way up the mountain, and shortly after he left, we started hearing sounds from the fire temple. The sounds of rumblings, of destruction. We didn't make our way there to see him, but my son did. He had moved there. When he got there, he said that he had seen his friend, his brother, defiling the great statues on that place. I don't know if you noticed, I make some pretty mean statues now.
He has noticed.
Mm-hmm.
But
The one of Laura is very impressive.
I wish you had seen the one of you. Unfortunately, that young man put a stop to that. He
He has
destroyed
seen
it. And after he destroyed it, my son tried to fight against him. He defeated my son. Left him scarred. This music is way too hopeful for this. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's not even correct. Ferrum Woods, maybe? Not Ferrum Woods. What am I saying? That's very calm. Let's go up here to the freaking bleh. There we go. This is what I always go to whenever I need some fucking rough music.
Yeah.
Whenever I saw my son, whenever everyone else did, we were enraged. We made our way down the mountain because I want to do nothing else but to get revenge on that one. But more than that, my son, he says he's the only one that can stop him.
If he's anything like you, Orthos believes it.
I don't know what he plans to do. He has been silent since the time he had came down. Gorthos, I do not know if my son can defeat him. Not on the level he is now. And I'm sure that my explosives cannot actually defeat the entirety of his army. But I do know that they can deal a blow. So you are going to have to tell me, and you're going to have to convince me and my people why we shouldn't fight him. He has taken much from us. I understand we were a bit quick on the other aspects of Hyrule. We have not come down in a long time. We were a little overeager to solve all the world's problems. I get it.
No, we feel the same. We've done the same thing.
It's true.
But I am in agreement with my captain and my son that we should have a crack at this man. And if you tell me no, I'm not sure I'm going to be convinced. Even if it's you. Maybe I'm cranky in my old age.
You've always been cranky.
I was definitely more amicable when I was younger.
Mr. Apple
Orthos
himself.
Orthos is not saying none of you have a right to face down Gidon. What he is saying is that he has harmed Zora, Goron, Hylian, many people alike. Even
Demons?
the sister tribe. Demons. Many people suffer at his hands. He's not saying that you cannot enact vengeance upon him.
How many of their sacred grounds have he destroyed?
For the Sister Zora tribe, he attempted to burn down the Queen's palace with her inside using lava flows of Death Mountain.
What?
And swarms of Dodongos.
In fact, we tamed one of the Dodongo that were there.
It's true.
His young Zora here has an immense talent in such things, as does the demon girl up top. But
He also has weird information that we don't completely understand ourselves.
there is a greater threat that comes to Hyrule, Boulder. A threat that Gorthos thinks was the one and the same that we had fought so long ago. It still may be wandering Hyrule.
You mean demise?
He has spoken with Demise.
What?
He is walking among the world again, but even worse still, something calamitous has returned along with him. Gorthos hesitates to say it, but it might be even worse than Demise.
How can that even be possible?
Its name is Ganon.
He stops for a moment. He will do the best at his thinking he possibly fucking can in his life.
How many Gauss points can I give him? Can I give him hero points because this is dangerous for him to think that hard?
A name like that. I remember, and my people have long memories. But I do not believe I know that name.
Gorthos took great strides long ago to erase it from the world. And it seems that his actions have caused consequences he had unforeseen. Both Demise and Ganon are back, and they are causing chaos across the world, corrupting and taking things, people, places.
Sages.
Nowhere is sacred anymore.
Oh, don't get me started on sages.
Yes, we have met the Sage
One
of
of
Life.
Sage of Life? That's not who I speak of.
More corrupted sages.
I would not say corrupt, but I would say there is a strange energy about them. There was one who kept making our way to us, he would call himself the Sage of the Sun.
Sage of the Sun.
Yeah,
This one is unknown.
he was a bit of work, but more than anything, he just had an air about him of strangeness. We do not judge on some, but he was always asking odd questions about divinity and about construction. I have not seen him in many years, but I have had my fill of sages as well.
Gorthos thinks that...
Wait, no, it would not be Sage of the Sun. Blah, 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 my bad. The Sage of the Dawn. That's it. My bad.
Sage of the Dawn. Still unknown. There are many things going wrong in Hyrule. Gorthos and his new companions are going off to see Ivori even now. We had stopped by here because he needed to see you again.
Ivori,
But,
huh?
yeah, she still is around, yes.
Oh, I know.
We should have words about that after we deal with this situation with Gidon. Your people may yet be needed to come back to war.
Brother,
war.
there is more. There is more in my people than many may think. When it comes to all of these young men in front of you, he motions to all the Gorons that are probably older than most of you. When it comes to all these young men here, they only wear the armor you see them wear because of their emotion and their heart. To get them to do things, to get them to ride, as we once did, brother, is difficult. I will halt our advance for now.
You
Do not
Thank
take
you.
my words as do not take my words as kindness, Gorthos. I as well want to know what's happening here. And now that we have 4 times the explosives we thought we would have for them, there is a lot more planning that needs to be done.
There is one more thing Gorthos advises to you, brother. Your justice would be sought out, not by armies, by a champion.
A champion.
One among your people to ride with us in the confrontation of Gidon. He already knows it will not be a conflict solved by words alone. He will not go down without a fight.
How is your son doing? By the way, is he? Could I see him maybe?
My son has ridden off for training. He said that he is going off toward a mythical people that he once had learned of from a friend he had made several years ago.
Mythical.
Apparently there is a group of people out there who can bottle magma.
Oh yeah.
People who can
Oh
follow-
my god.
He believes that he could use such a power and has made their way to his capital,
What are these mythical people called?
the Gerudo.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh.
We
They're
knew
not
that they
mythical.
were powerful. We knew that they were strong, but we had no idea of their might over elemental energies. He has made his way to the Gerudo chieftain as we speak, in order to
Oh.
get himself
Well,
aid
neat.
in his coming battle.
How long ago did he roll out to the Gerudo chieftain?
I believe it was around about 4 days.
We
We can't
have only
make it.
just missed him.
Yeah. We are going there though.
Indeed. Every land is being influenced by these things, brother. In time, he will tell you. You deserve to know, and your people deserve to know. What threatens this world again?
Brother, I do not wish, and I hope you understand, I do not wish to make you upset. I would never, as I've given my oath to you, I would never go against your wishes without good understanding and without good reason for doing so. I pride myself in being a rider. I pride myself in being the boulder. The
This
one who
there's
will
no
defeat
question.
your enemies. The one who will make your weapons before you ever get a chance to.
Don't be so cocky that you have a 1,000-year head start on him.
You should see the things I've made in your absence. It would bring tears to your eyes.
He's seen the statues. They do.
The statues, he says. Tell me, brother, did you know what you can do with rock roast and bomb buds?
Make a very tasty meal.
Perhaps
You
one
made
day
it
you will find what I mean. I have taken up the ancient art of cooking.
His head just kind of tilts towards Paula.
Huh?
You do not even know the recipes of destruction I can wring, and how beautiful I can prepare them.
Porthos knows a very prominent chef that might already be able to take your title.
I will not allow such thing to be wringed from my fingers. That being said, I would love to meet them and compare notes.
Thumbs back towards the cliff.
Huh? He looks
Before
up
that,
toward the
though.
cliff. He already starts moving before you say before that.
Porthos feels like your people are.
We're getting okay. He's gone.
As he rolls up, you see Polo over at your side. What appears to be a large boulder rushing upwards into the sky and then landing with a huge thud directly in front of the Dodongo, which hisses and roars in his direction. I heard you can cook!
Gorthos already knows what he was going to say anyway.
Yes, I am still a bit of a chef in training in some aspects, but I am a cook.
As he gets up toward Polo, Gorthos and the others, while you're down there before we move on to anything, you guys will note what appear to be several Gorons making their way from each of the different tunnels. As you look to this, you finally get an idea of the scale of the army that has been brought into this place.
It really is the entire village.
As each of them start filing off into the center of this place, wondering, what we're gonna do now. We were digging. What's going on? You would find Polo sticking up here. This Goron seems to lean forward. Don rearing back, lowering his head, ready to strike. Oh, I see you got a baby with you.
Holds up Garf.
Ah, I see you got 2 babies with you.
I mean,
I love babies.
Don, take it easy.
it is okay, Dawn. It is all right.
Garf is just chilling. As you lift him up, he's just like, bleh.
He just as she slightly moves, he just sloops off of her out of her arms and comes to a puddle somewhere else.
It is
He's
like
so
an actual
content.
cat. Cats are also liquid,
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah.
He's just pure contentment.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know just what to do with you babies. You see him reach back into a bag on his butt. There's a growl from the Dodongo as you make your way up, Ronan. You see him pull something out from his bag.
Yeah.
You see him pull what appears to be a large stone weapon.
Is it actually a weapon, or is it some weird thing you're memeing with me about?
I just want to know, Ronan, as you roll for your experience.
Oh, my best stat? I'll throw these.
You can do it. I believe in you.
And a goddess point.
And a goddess point.
You know what? I believe in you so much. Have one of mine.
Oh, thanks, bud.
I don't think I can actually give them though. So
You can do what you want, they're yours.
okay.
I wouldn't, but you can do what you want.
You can have it, but not
This
for
is
this
important.
Hey.
This is very important.
As you see him pull out what appears to be a club at first thought. However, as you see it getting pulled out from his back, you see what appears to be, it's not a club, but some kind of a stone bone with what appears to be a large stone cylinder upon it. you see him pulling out what appears to be, from all understanding, you have been having heard the name out loud the past couple of minutes, what appears to be a rock roast.
Oh, so it's just food.
Technically, it is a rock, but yes. Here, baby, baby. Here, baby, baby.
What exactly is this thing you're giving him?
Oh, this is great. It's a rock roast. It's a delicacy on Death Mountain. Here, try it. Holds a rock out to you.
I don't think I could eat that.
You do. You are the chompy type of Zora.
You know what?
You could try.
I don't know.
try.
The Sky Touch could eat it.
That's true. True.
I'll give it a shot. Give me that.
You want to try to eat the rock roast?
Sure.
I would like
I will,
you.
yeah, I will. Not the whole thing. Just like.
Just a bite.
Yeah.
I would like you to please roll me for your resistance as you try to eat this rock. And you were given this, I believe.
Oh,
You were given that.
Good. Very good.
Breaks all of his teeth.
That's a 13.
You bring
You
your
know what?
teeth.
Do I have any? I don't have any hero points left. Fuck.
You
We have
bring.
group hero points.
You bring your teeth down. I would like to use a hero point if you would like. You have
I'll do
6
that.
of them.
I'll use a hero point.
That would bring yours up to 16 instead. Then
Yes.
that is a lot. That is very good. That is a lot different than the 13. What are you humming over there for? You going to do something too?
Not yet.
Okay. You sink your teeth down, and for a moment you worry about it as you put it to your mouth, because this is just a rock.
Yeah.
As you bring your teeth down, it does seem to somewhat crumble in your mouth.
Yeah.
As you chomp down, it almost feels soft after about a quarter of an inch in. As you chomp down into meat? Very dry meat.
What?
But meat, nonetheless, at
That
least from what you
is-
can tell. It does appear to be pretty good.
That is way better than I ever would have imagined.
If you would have got a 13, you would have felt it would be very bad. And it was a rock.
It was, in fact, a rock.
However, with a 16, you bite down into it. It almost feels like maybe this was some kind of fossilized meat, maybe. Maybe some kind of something like that. But whatever animal it's from, whatever creature it was from, it definitely got tastier with age and potentially the heat on the mountain of Death Mountain.
That is really.
I minded up myself. That one there is one that I cooked up special. That was supposed to be my lunch, but I just can't help but wanting to feed a baby.
Dad, you have every permission to go ahead and do so.
Polo, you see Ronan chewing a rock, but apparently really liking it. I gotta say, I'm the best rock roaster. I'm really good as a chef.
Rock roast roaster?
Rock roaster. Thank you. Of course you would know. You're a chef too, right? Don't
Yes.
don't lie. I can see it. I was also told.
I am a cook, but I have never cooked a rock roast.
Oh, it's simple. You gotta make sure you go to where the rock roast is, right?
Uh-huh.
Then you dig it out,
You dig it out.
and then he spreads his arms as if that is it.
So where does the cooking come in?
Oh, well, rock roast itself is a delicacy, absolutely delicious.
Uh-huh.
But technically,
if you really want to bring out the zing of a rock roast, you gotta use it as an ingredient in other things.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I've tried powdering it. I've tried putting sauce on it. I've tried baking with it. None of them worked. But then I got it to. Because I realized rock roast is the entree. You gotta use other things with. We should compare notes. Tell me, what are you gonna eat? What are you gonna eat with that? Points over toward the choo-choo.
I am not going to eat it.
Right, it's still a baby!
At all.
Oh! That's a waste. Smells like carrots.
I think it has grown quite attached.
Name is Garth.
Oh, you'll find that chews are never attached too hard. You can pull them. You can pull them apart pretty well.
Like emotionally.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's your pet. Don't eat your pet, especially if it's a baby.
We do have access to quite a variety of food.
If you're not gonna finish that, you should give that to the baby.
I mean.
Oh, here you go, Don.
Have to be fed, but maybe not now. It's quite full.
You hand the rock roast to the Dodongo. He does eat it, as if he is very used to eating those.
Give him a little pet.
By the way, since you got a 16 on that,
Yeah.
It is just a base rock roast, but bloop. Your AC goes up by 1.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Forever, right?
No, not forever. As he looks you up and down, you know, I'm gonna be real with you for a second, little chef. Hey, no growling, baby. I don't want to put you in the ground. It's okay.
You're good. You're good. Just petting him.
Don't tell Gorthos.
Uh-huh.
You may not be me levels of chef, but I can see some potential in you. And one day, I'm going to die. And then you can be the best chef.
Oh, fuck you, dumb shit.
I understand, sir. I will know my place.
That's right. And, hey,
I feel like maybe
when you die, or when I die, I'm gonna teach you how to cook a rock roast for my funeral. Well, I mean, I guess I should teach you before I die, right?
Probably for the best.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it the other way. That sounds like a grander idea.
Yes. I have roasted before, just never roasted rock.
Oh, it can't just be any rock. Has to be rock roast.
Of course.
Lucky for you. He motions back toward all of the boxes and things that are over by Captain Rowe. We brought a lot of it. Like, way more than we could ever actually eat. We might have overpacked.
How do you overpack an army?
They're Gorons, bro.
It will just go to waste in a matter of time, then.
Oh, it'll outlive all of us unless we eat it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It might even outlast us after we eat it.
Oh my god. I just want to imagine he's talking about this rock roast, talking about it, and there's just a giant explosion in the background as Rowe decides to go rogue.
Viva la resistance!
Oh no, he's become French. We
The worst kind of Goron.
Gorthos thought that their kind went extinct eons ago.
Maybe once we resolve some of the conflicts going on within the area, then we can indulge ourselves in some light competitive cooking, if we should.
Oh yeah, I can get you ready for a competitive cook-off. Believe me,
No one will be able to beat you once I train you up. I'm the best in the world.
I look forward to.
And then
much
when
more
I
fun.
die, like points to you, points at him.
Maybe you two should have a cook-off.
Oh, that sounds good too.
I do not have the suitable ingredients for a cook-off.
Oh, not right now.
Well, yeah, we're kind of in the middle of a war too, so it might be,
In the peacetime.
like it might like looks back. It would be yes, sir. Okay, yeah, it would be weird. Yeah. Later though.
He thinks they're getting along great up there.
I would definitely look forward to learning more things and enhancing my craft.
I like you. We're gonna give you a box of rock roast
Oh, wonderful.
for money.
Maybe I. I see.
Yeah.
You are going to sell it to me.
Yeah.
Okay. We will discuss business at a later juncture.
Gives you a thumbs up. Gives you a wink.
I will see. I will see to. I will delegate with my brothers on the potential rock roast stock that we might have in the north.
You know, whenever we were visiting the Zora domain, the Zora gave us a really good discount whenever Polo was buying from them.
True.
Oh yeah? Well, I'll tell you right now, we can match any price a Zora can give you.
I mean, it was a pretty hefty discount.
Don't even you listen here, like points over to Ronan. We can match anything you can dish out, all right? Name the price.
1 rupee.
We'll give you 5.
You'll give me rupees to take.
He pulls out a blue rupee, puts it onto the ground. Beat that!
He's so fucking dumb.
You are paying
20.
me to take.
throws down a red rupee.
Oh no, Gorthos can hear
I don't
talking
see
about
any
money
way we
again.
could possibly compete with that. I mean,
Oh,
What are you
Wow.
saying?
uh,
Just motions over, steps over to Ronan, staring him in the eyes. What are you saying?
I'm saying that's a very generous offer.
You think this is what Goron generosity is?
Oh no.
You just
Is
see
it-
Gorthos just lean back on the cliff. and
He
just waiting,
brings his
listening.
hand up to his hair.
Uh-huh.
He puts his hand in it, lifts up, and pulls out a silver rupee.
that's what was keeping it up. You
He
see.
turns it sideways in front of your face, Ronan. Drops it. Boom. And he starts backing away toward the hole and falls backwards into it.
Knocking over 2 other Gorons. as he comes
Jasna
back
would be
down.
proud.
His class is not dealer.
Gorthos, I can't believe you and Abori were like the brains of the operation.
This is
What's
that
that
thing of
supposed
like
to mean?
she looks at this and she's like, "This is almost as bad as the old man in the domain."
Oh, this is much funnier.
You
This way
just
we're not taking advantage of an old man. We're just really, really catching ourselves a great break with one.
Wait, you guys took advantage of an old man?
No, shut up.
No, honey, you heard nothing.
No, shut up.
No, shut up.
No, shut up.
I think with you guys gaining from this 125 rupees,
As well as a box of rock roast.
as well as a box of rock roast, which we will
Also the
decide how
prices.
much that actually is.
And also the priceless nature of an ancient French.
as the boulder will fall backwards into his hole, laughing the entire time until you hear a thud and then continuing to laugh. I think this is a good time to hold things off. As this goes down, you guys will have a load of things put onto your cart. Stepping over, one of the Carrot brothers will bring a large box over and place it down into your cart, as well as you guys would have access to the, let's see here, one this, and one this. There we go. Da-da-da-da. As well as these rupees.
My God, what the fuck?
As you guys are loaded down, up at the top, as you all are about to make your way out, you do see, and you say that there's new management in Lon Lon.
Yes,
Yes,
That
my
young-
sister.
that young man's sister is quite proficient in our abilities, it seems.
We'll make our way over there and see what they have to say. If they let us in, then maybe we'll see you there whenever you come back.
When we come back, it is not a matter of if. Rothos will not disappear for 1,000 years again.
Listen, Gorthos. When you make your way to Ivori, be careful, alright?
You're not the only person who has said that. What has happened? When we heard it from the Queen of the River Zora, it was one thing, but you saying that means something different now.
I don't know how to say it, Gorthos. So I'm not going to beat around the bush. Alright?
There's never no need to do so.
Me and Ivori, we're one of the only ones that came out of that forest.
So you both know, so both of you know what happened.
That's the thing, Gorthos. I don't. I barely remember anything from in there except for all the badass fighting we did. I mean, like, I did so much badass fighting, and I'm sure you had your moments.
Are you sure that's the case too?
Like, I did so many cool things, Gorthos.
He knows you did.
Like, I destroyed all those monsters in there.
Yes.
Could have probably
you
did
don't
it
want to do.
single-handedly.
Let's not get out ahead of ourselves there.
I could still blow up the forest.
You
But
won't.
what happened with Ivori?
Right. When we came out of there, Ivori flew off. I gave her time. I was trying to figure out things myself. Went over letters you sent me. Went over different missives I wrote. But you were very secretive about going in there. Only thing I knew was all the ones that I went and recruited myself. Most of them didn't come out. One of them did come out. A fine warrior. One of the Donu. I went to go and see them after everything had happened. Maybe they had more information.
Whenever I went to their tribe, it was wiped out. All of their armors claimed. Not a single one of them had a scrap of metal between them.
Who? Where?
I got there too late. But there was one thing waiting for me there. A single, pristine, white feather.
No.
Sticking out of the chest of the hero. Clutched in his hands. At least as it looked like he was trying to protect it. He hid that feather, Gorthos, so they wouldn't know. I've not had any contact with them since. In 1,000 years, Gorthos, Ivori will not speak to me. But I know she's there. My scouts, a lot of them have become mailmen. They tell me of stories around Hyrule. And whenever there's a tragedy on a small enough scale, one that has no answers, you know what they always find? All the metal being gone. And witnesses of a white feather at the scene.
You won't get those answers from the floor.
Be careful, Gorthos. I know that they were a rider before I ever was a thought. But she's either keeping all this out for a reason, or for the last 1,000 years she's been this kingdom's demon queen. He gives you a pat on the shoulder. Take care.
Until we meet again.
He walks off. A rumbling is heard as he falls down into his hole with his people. You turn, get back into the area, as each of you begin to make your way back to Lon Lon. Most of you would have been around at least enough to hear most of what was just said. The boulder is not quiet.
No.
He's quite loud and rumbly.
As you guys go away, hearing that apparently Ivori's either hiding something or doing something much worse. You guys go back to get their cake for them. Their cake that apparently can grant wishes and is full of demonic energy.
Mm-hmm.
To be continued.
Man, I can't believe that fucking Ivori is Ganon.
I need to stop at the fucking that manor again. I need to switch some stuff out.
Yeah. You gonna be big?
Yeah.
That might be
I
a little
need-
hard to fit in a carriage.
I
It's
need
fine.
to not be wearing the armor that fucks with my finesse. That's what I need. Maybe we'll be having the cake in a card, you see.
There has to be a easier way to transport the big skeletons.
You can
mean,
put
put it
the
in
big
your skeleton
skeleton in
bag.
your little skeleton bag, yeah.
I didn't think it was big enough.
And then change in. Well, it holds one skeleton.
Okay. All right, you fucking okay.
It holds one skeleton.
It could hold Vol Circuit if he were dead.
We could.
But at that point, you would basically bring the giant body and be like in a regular body for travel, and then when you get there, immediately change into it if you want to.
That's what I'm meaning.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can do that.
As you guys will make your way back. Hooray! We did it. We talked to the Gorons. We stopped them from destroying a place they thought was a damned city.
We
Turns
stopped
out it was
them
just a
from
damn
committing
city.
accidental genocide.
I thought that they were going to do that for a smart reason. I thought they were going to do it because that's where the enemy had gone to.
I'm not even remotely shocked.
No, it's because they thought it was a damned city.
Yeah.
A city of the damned. Only the most evil and rambunctious monsters and villainy can be in a city of the damned.
I do wonder if we had let them continue on to the north, that it would just take care of our demise problem.
No.
They just blow up and they find Demise's room, and he just dies in the explosion.
You guys, several months later, you guys just see like sitting in like a family room, turning a piece of paper. Fucking Demise just like sitting in like an armchair, just like looking up like, what is that noise? What is? And then explosion.
Wait, is that?
Those stupid ass.
It just pans out, see the smoke rising in the air. It's just like, all right, fine, you could blow them up. Here's your groupies. Happy.
The
places they were going to go after, by the way, if we look at the map, they were going to go. They were going to go bloop. Try to take out wherever this army is down here. They were going to go bloop and take out the damned city. The city of the damned. They were going to go bloop and try to destroy the forest. And looking at the forest, it would take a lot of explosives. They probably didn't have enough.
Just get sucked into time and be lost.
They probably didn't have enough, but whatever. And finally, said they were going to take everything from bloop to bloop.
Yeah, nah. No, you're
know.
not. Oh, you can't.
Everything from the southern thing of Death Mountain to the northern part of the
I
Zoros
love-
Mountains.
I don't know if you intentionally made it just this big, but it's just on the cusp of where we saw that fucking Lizalfos camp was.
It just doesn't hit it.
It's like the one place in all of existence that's just like, nah.
They just missed. Like, that's where the monster camps actually are, and there's nothing
just
in that
missed.
area.
Well,
They
if
were
you
just
guys
off by a
remember,
little bit.
this little circle here was where people were saying a large amount of monsters were moving.
Oh.
So that
Yeah.
is the information they also got. So they were trying to destroy this large pack of monsters that's roaming the land.
Turns out since then, they've just moved this way.
They probably have, yes.
I love the idea that if they succeeded, that would just block his entire region up.
Yep.
Yep.
It was like
It
another
was
dam.
would just-
Untold
Yeah.
devastation for everyone in Hyrule.
So something about the whole they were missing all of their metal, like that feels slightly familiar. Did we heard anything about something like that happening before, like earlier in the campaign, that people were missing metal?
Metal has had its thoughts. A lot of time, you guys do know that. First off, Donu never try to go anywhere without it, right?
Yeah.
If they feel like they've been dishonored, they will take off their metal and they will not wear any other metal. They will not wear their stuff. They will just have their regular gear on. Some of them have their metal taken from them, or they find that there is a better showing of what they're currently on about, which is why some Donu off in Castletown are wearing the Castletown medals they were given. But they do not usually go without their medal. Whenever it comes to early in the campaign, there was some talks of missing Donu armors, but you guys found that one.
Yeah.
But as far as metal being disappeared, I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I might have put something in that. What was that?
You might just be thinking of that moment.
Yeah, I could just be thinking
I don't
of
think
the
there's
Donu
any
armor.
other thing that I would have said from that, because you guys haven't went to a Donu camp but yet. You guys were told of several Donu camps. You guys were told by the king if you guys find any or see any, like, to try to get them on your side, and he specifically mentioned Dark Nut camps, not Donu camps. But yeah, I don't think any of them have. I don't think you guys have gotten anything from missing metal yet. No.
Yeah. So I do like that you say that. Oh, it's on the west side of Hyrule's forest to go up. That'd be fast, but not over here near whatever's happening with Jazza in Jazza.
People have been saying that this area has been magically weird. Also, people have been talking about a large monster that's apparently roaming around this area. So they're like, yeah, the west of Hyrule kind of sucky at the moment. We don't want to go there.
Kind of sucks up in the northeast.
It's fine. Just go straight through. Just go straight through.
So many
Lost
adventurers have died thinking that they could just simply walk through the woods. So many are dead.
Well, one of my favorite little things in this entire map is that there is some slightly forested areas outside of each of the different sides of the forest, and that is because some people have tried to clear out some parts of the forest to go in, and they've only gotten so far.
The trees fight back. It's a little hard.
The trees chose violence.
You'd be surprised how often they do that.
What's the tree enemy again?
A treant.
Treants, yeah.
It's in the name.
The treants just pop up and start attacking because their homes are being destroyed.
No, it's the tree ants.
One thing you guys had heard from long ago was, again, the fact that the forest currently doesn't have a great Deku tree, and that was most likely because of Atalanta a long time ago.
Yeah, we should probably work. There's a lot of stuff that's kind of fucked, and could use some help in getting unfucked, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, you guys are gonna get that cake, put it inside of a card, and then make your way up here somewhere, and then you're there.
Right, it is how that works.
We go in, we meet up with a group of the harem bandits who have gone in there and were lost for like 100 years, but they came back anyway.
They wouldn't be harem bandits if they were gone for 100 years.
You're right.
It's a harem bandit that went in, got out 100 years in the future, and then went back in and came back out 100 years in the past.
And now they're just like, they don't know which time they want to be in. They made friends in both. And now they're torn between the two time periods.
Poor guy.
The tale of two timelines.
That's what happened to the harem bandit that's actually the one that she's looking for.
He's 100 years in the future.
I'm just pretty sure he's not fucking real at this point.
No, that was definitely one of them she really liked.
We all kind of thought it was
I'm
Gru.
sure it's definitely Gru, and she's just stupid.
It is not
so
Gru.
she doesn't know.
Out of
What if it
all of
was-
them, she knows it's not Gru because Gru was around when she was having crushes on the other one. That's what she was
What
saying
if?
earlier. She's like, he's the only one I can
Yeah.
actually be comfortable with.
What if it was just fucking Magnus going through a phase?
My wives are dead. I guess I'll join the harem bandits.
No, this would have been before that.
How old do you think the harem bandit queen is?
I don't know.
She's like age means nothing to Gorthos.
It's true.
She's like around my age, I would assume.
Some things, but not that.
Around the Marco Polo ages.
She's younger than Gorthos. That's about the long and short of.
She's like maybe like Marco slash like maybe one of Marco's older sister's age.
Mm-hmm.
Like around that kind of level. But yeah, we're gonna end things here, my dudes. I hope everybody had a good time today. We will come back next time with probably getting to Spectacle Rock, it seems.
Oh yeah.
Because you guys just gotta either get a horse and go, or you guys can leave behind the horses. The best thing about Lon Lon horses is that they are technically war horses, but they're also very quick horses. They're literally just better in every way.
They are
so
literally the best horses in the world.
You would be able to get there slightly faster, though with the trails underneath things, that doesn't really seem to be that much of a big deal. But also, they can technically defend themselves, is the best part about the Lon Lon horses.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which is not a humongous deal for you guys right now. You guys are decently equipped enough to protect horses, at the very least, we're pretty sure. So it's not a humongo thing, but if you can get like one or two, it'd be kind of cool.
I need to not be wearing this fucking chest piece. It's like my bane.
Take it off.
Then I don't have a chest piece.
just eat some rock roast. You'll be fine.
Yeah, man.
Fucking
eat a rock. You won't.
Coward.
Don't even. Marco will do it, no hesitation.
Actually, well, yeah, who am I kidding?
If Link can eat a rock roast, you can eat a rock roast.
Link can eat a rock roast?
In the Ocarina of Time manga, he did, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I knew I couldn't make it in Breath of the Wild. So.
It's just
forgot Marco ate mold for a moment. I don't know how I let myself do that.
Just chomp it down. You put a little mold on it for spice?
Yeah. Moldy rock roast.
Rock roast cheese.
I love that I made him a chef. And I
love that he is too.
I love that he is technically a chef.
He is technically a chef.
He is the best chef.
I love that all of these boys are here. I love that there are so many. I also love that we have not named any of them yet, because we don't know the Goron naming conventions all that well.
This is literally the entirety of the race of Gorons, minus the one Goron that you guys have seen running around as the mailman, and his son, who is in the desert.
Not a lot, actually.
No, there's not a lot of them.
None of them are, and none are even like those big, gigantic ones that you see in like games.
Nope.
I'm surprised he's not just gigantic.
He's the little guy. He's tiny. He's active.
He's very active, as opposed to the big old ones in games that we've seen.
We're just sitting there.
They sit there, they hurt their backs.
Yeah, he's very active boulder.
They're not like the ones that are like
even
just
smaller than most of them.
He's actually smaller than most of them. That's amazing. And he has a head, and his skull is as hard as a rock.
Yeah.
Whenever I was having him give you guys rupees, I'm like, his hair kind of looks like a rupee. Boom! Walks back behind.
I can't wait to show up to WitchCon to find out. Oh, Ivor just has all the witches like strung up and is about to sacrifice them to something.
That's really it's really hard to do that to a ghost, but good on him.
Listen, if there's someone who could do that, it would probably be Ivori.
It's probably Koro or Ivori.
Fuck, dude. When did I go talk to Ivori?
I love how Koro bottling magma or bottling lava has become such a fucking topic among the Gorons that they're just like, oh no,
Those people can bottle magma. They can definitely teach us how to fight. They can give us the ammo we need to take out that asshole.
I would love to see a Goron that has been trained as a what are they? Why have I already forgotten the cool thing that the Gerudo have with the armor and stuff? They're not dark nuts, they're fuck. And no one's helping me. No one's helping me.
I know what you're talking about. It's so late in the night. I cannot come to my brain.
Because Kuro didn't want to be one. And
yeah,
he didn't like
I know
armor.
exactly what you're talking about, but the name of them are not coming up to my brain because again, it's really late.
Chat help.
Darknet.
Not dark nuts. Anyway,
Iron Knuckles.
there you go. Those guys.
There we go.
But yes,
I did it.
we are
figured it
gonna
out. I
end things
remembered.
here. We're gonna go. Hope everybody had good times, and until next time, guys. Like always, later days.
Bye-bye.